Hello, hello, hello. Joe Hart here. Welcome. Um, I will probably do an introduction as people are coming into the room, but I'm Joe Hart. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities, and I'll talk about them throughout the stream, of course. Um, I always like to start off um, to mention, thoughts and prayers for the victims, families, loved ones, friends, students, the school, University of Idaho, the community and city, Moscow, Idaho, the county, Latah County, the state, Idaho, and all of the law enforcement, LE. Dave travels in time. Hey man, Joe, you are the man. You are a rock star. How are you? Lady V. Hello, Joe. How are you? Um, let's see here. Lady V says hello to Dave, and Dave says hello to V. So this is probably going to be a slightly different stream today. I have I have people that are nice and care about me and have offered to help me, and Lady V has offered to help and maybe be in my panel and help me facilitate. And she can probably describe it better than I can, but just help facilitate everything. Muffy, hello, beautiful people. Joe, hey, Muffy, how are you? So I might just do the introduction, which, I can watch out because my intro could be 35 minutes. But hopefully I'll do a real quick intro, and then I'll, let me see here, Muffy. So yeah, that's cool. Thanks, Muffy and Lady. And so let me see here. So I'm gonna maybe I'll do it now. So let's see. I'll invite. So I'll copy the link. I'm still learning StreamYard, and when I first started on StreamYard, I would mention everything I was doing, which I'll probably still do that. But when I was doing it, everybody's like, "Oh wow, you're giving us a you're tutoring them," or I can't think of the word, of StreamYard. And I said, yeah, I don't really know it very well, but I can do it. And they're like, no, I'm serious. We enjoyed this. So anyway, I'll probably do that. So let me drop that right there. And this is so Lady V can come up. And I'm on 6 streams, which will be part of my introduction, but I'm on 6 streams. So I don't know if y'all see, I only type 1 comment, but then there's 3 comments that show up. So anyway, that's every time I send 1 comment, it comes up as 3. So, but I don't think everybody sees that. That's, oh, hey, Lady V. Oh, I meant to. Hi, Lady V. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today, Joe?
I didn't mean to add you immediately. I wanted to say, hey, are you ready? And all that stuff. So,
oh no, it's fine. I'm used to quickly turning off my camera, especially today. I feel terrible. You go ahead and do your intro, and I'll just sit here and wait for you to get
cool.
done with that.
And I appreciate you being here. And I'm sorry to hear that you're sick. It's never fun. I don't like being sick, and most people don't. So I feel for you for sure.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love being sick.
Oh, right. I'm sure no one does. Yeah. So anyway, Muffy and Dave are they're good people, and you probably have seen them around and stuff. But I think, let me see here. Let me get one of my devices up.
So I checked out Plunder.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, there really wasn't anything new except for there was like a break-in on a car, like exactly a year before this happened.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was really close to that area, but it wasn't really. It wasn't at 1122 King Road that I could see. But
wow.
So other than that, they're really, and I mean, it's a college town. It's going to happen, right?
Right, exactly. And of course, Muffy says, "Love Lady V."
Oh, I
Amen,
love
Muffy.
Muffy. She's a sweetheart.
And Dave says Lady V in the house is in the house. So yeah, I looked for plunder and I was looking for live and I couldn't find it. And I was like, then I went on to another project. I was like, oh, she's probably talking about a recorded one. So yeah, I'll definitely check out plunder. So yeah, I'll continue doing a couple of I'll try to streamline all this. But this is just my 11th or 12th StreamYard. And so I'm still learning that. I'm fairly new to YouTube. And so I'm just learning a lot of things. As far as StreamYard goes, with the plan I'm on now, I can, send it to 6 different or more than 6, but I'm sending it to 6 destinations. So I always, Muffy says, "Where's Mo?" Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, I think it's fine. I don't usually give much notice, so I always am fine if people come in 5, 10, 20 minutes later. So yeah, I'm sure she'll get here, or not. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. So the 6 destinations I'm sending it to is my Facebook profile, and this is all new to me, all of it. So I'm sending it to my Facebook profile, my Facebook page, my LinkedIn profile, my YouTube by itself, and Twitch, which I've had an account for a while, but I've never done a video until Streamline, and then Twitter. And Twitter is currently my my largest audience, but Streamline doesn't allow comments. Not everybody can comment, but especially Twitter cannot comment. So I do apologize, Twitter. As I said before, feel free to comment. You can. My DMs are open, so you can send me a DM, or it doesn't have to be private. I don't care if so you can send a regular tweet or a DM, questions. Someday I'm going to figure out how to watch my Twitter stream live so I can get a comment live, but currently it'll be the next day. So anyway, I guess
Joe, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm not really I have a LinkedIn, but I'm not really looking for a job. So how does that work with LinkedIn? I didn't realize you could send a live stream to that.
Well, I don't know a whole bunch about it. I've been on LinkedIn for quite a few years. I don't, 6, 8, 10 years. I don't know how long. And I've never needed a job. So I'm on there for different reasons. And recently, like 2 or 3 years ago, they started doing LinkedIn Live, but you needed certain criteria, and I didn't have the criteria. So for StreamYard, it's just you can pick it as a destination, and they send it to them. So
that's
now,
cool.
Yeah. So afterwards, after I do a stream, I go to all 6 platforms to see what was posted and how it worked and all that stuff. And it's as if I'm streaming from LinkedIn. So it's pretty cool. I kind of, hey, Mo, how are you?
It sounds to me like you're getting the hang of StreamYard pretty good if you can do all of that.
Well, my learning curve is very steep. So yeah, every 24 hours, every 48 hours, I'm learning a lot. Now, because of the static in my head, I'm not retaining everything. But yeah, again, 5 weeks ago, I had wanted to get onto YouTube Live for 5 or 6 years. And I was like, oh, I got to study it and blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as I heard about Idaho 4, I was like, okay, what are these other streamers doing? And, there's a couple I really liked, Brittany and Alex and Valerie. And, I was like, how do you do this? And they're like, well, you use StreamYard. And I'm like, okay, bye. And I was, I just had to do it. So I did really, yeah, thank you. I think I did pretty well. So the last part of my introduction, as you can tell, I get off topic and stuff, and it's not really an intro. It's like, it's all one conversation, but, I do want to thank all the live viewers. Thank you very much. I love comments. I will probably still pin and read and respond to most comments, but I think over time that will be probably one of the reasons Lady V will be here. So I won't have to put all my energy on them, because they can, whatever, they do stuff to me. So, but anyway, comment as much as you want. I love comments. And then thank you to the replay viewers. And then thank you, you mods. Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. I mean, my first mod, if you don't mind, I'm sure he won't. Dave is my first mod, and he taught me a lot about YouTube and StreamYard and modding. You know, when I first, my first 4 or 5 mods, I was like, I don't know what y'all do, but thanks, So yeah, I'm learning from them too. So thank you very much. And yeah, I'm way behind on comments now, but I'm going to try to plow through them, Lady V.
All right.
And, but feel free to interject or, interrupt or whatever you want to do. So that's going to be my starting. If I can figure this stuff out, that's probably what I'll have on the screen first when I start a stream. And it just talks about TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, and getting those links. Boy, that was really hard for me to do. So I'm pretty proud that I found those. And like I said, when I write one comment, my thing's not working. Okay, what's going on here?
I think it's a good idea to have your links up there for everybody to see.
Well, thanks. I want a ticker, and I want to, there's so much I want that. How come I'm not scrolling on my, I've done it before. I can't remember how to do it. Yeah, I'm stuck on one comment. Oh, maybe I'll just click them. Okay, so that's the second. That's Twitch, same comment. That's a Facebook page. I think it's one of them. And then same thing. I did, and that will be a banner. But anyway, so that's Facebook, that's Twitch, and that's.
If I laugh, forgive me, Mo. I mean, Joe. Mo just made a really cute comment. They were talking about Dave and his time machine, and Mo's like, I guess you need a DeLorean.
I'm Dave. I'm sure Dave would welcome a DeLorean. He's great, and he's got a great stream. His channel is great. So anybody that wants to, if anybody wants to follow him, he's great. He can usually describe better what he does, but he does games and he does all sorts of stuff. So he was my first viewer, and I was like, I'm lost, and he helped me as a viewer. So he's a rock star.
Okay, well, I just subbed to you, Dave. So I don't know how much I'll watch because I'm not really into games, but
and
there's a sub for you anyway.
Well, thank you for doing that, Lady V. He's much better at describing the channel than I am. So wait until he describes it. He will describe it. So Lady V, hello, everyone. Make yourself at home. Hit that like button and set your notifications so you don't miss any lives. Thank you, Lady V. And then Dave, hey, man, Joe, you are the man. You're a rock star. Thanks, Dave. We're my first original cheerleader. But like I say, I've gotten way more from you than you got from me. I mean, you have helped me so much. So Lady V, hello, Joe. Wow, you posted that before you said hi to me. Thank you, Lady V. That was so cool. And then Lady V says to Dave, and I can't really read emojis because I don't understand.
I'm just saying hi with snowmen.
With snowmen, that's cute. We're all, a lot of people are getting snow.
It's just an affectionate way to say hi.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, feel free to use emojis. I just can't read them. So Dave, hi, Lady V, and Muffy, hello, beautiful people. Muffy, you're a rock star, of course. Joe, Hart. You know my last name is Hart, right, Muffy? Isn't that cute? You put a heart on it. That's cool. Aww. And then Lady to Muffy, some more snowmen. Dave, hi, Muffy. Muffy, Lady V, hello, sweetheart. That's very nice. Dave, I can't, your emoji is just a white box, and you don't have to translate it for me, but I'm just letting you know I don't see anything. Oh, wait, it's probably, Lady V taught me to open my stream on YouTube so I can see the blue wrenches and stuff. I haven't looked at it, but it is on. So I probably can see your emoji over there, Dave. But anyway, I'll do that later. Muffy, hey, Dave Travels. And then that is my StreamYard. Wow, I've never seen a StreamYard link. I've only seen a YouTube link. That's really cool. Thank you for whoever. Wait, that's me. Oh, That's
you
for
just
you.
dropped that. You dropped that so I could come up, Joe.
Oh, okay. Do you know if we have a StreamYard? I don't think we do. We have just a YouTube link, right?
Yeah, no, StreamYard's just when you want somebody up on panel, and I think it changes every time, or I think you can make it not change, but probably keeping it where it changes every time would probably be a good thing. That way you don't have somebody jump up there that you'd rather not.
Right. They can cut and paste it and keep it. Yeah, that makes sense. So Muffy, Lady V, I think there's hands ups, but I'm not sure. Dave, Lady V is in the house. And Muffy, love Lady V. And Muffy, Dave, if you know how to time travel, can you get us out of here?
I love all you
Muffy,
guys too.
this is, oh yeah, isn't that sweet? But yeah, Dave, you're right, Muffy. This is something else. And Muffy says, "Where's Mo?" And she's here. And I didn't, like I said, people can come and drop in anytime they want. I'm baffled that anybody shows up, but certainly mods. It's fine. You can show up whenever you want. Muffy, Dave, I had to type that again. It should have said, if you know how to time travel, can you get us out of this crazy world? And I knew what you mean, Muffy, but yeah, I mean, that DeLorean for sure. Mo, hey Muffy, I'm on my PT exercises, but listening. Oh, Mo, I hope you're doing well. It makes me feel good. I was missed. Oh, Mo, we always miss you, but never feel obligated or anything. So Muffy sends Mo a bunch of hearts, and Muffy says, "Okay, I'm glad you're okay." Yes, amen. And Mo says, "Muffy, Dave, Joe, Lady V, thank you, Mo. You're a rock star." Lady does Mo with 3 green hearts. That's a ton of green hearts. And Muffy, thank you so much. I hope you're well. And Dave, hopefully my time travel methods aren't working right now. Dave, I know you're probably still working on them. So good luck with that. Dave, Muffy, purple. Mo, please follow Joe TikTok at JoeHart35 and Twitter, NASCART Inc. And if you only follow one, I want you to follow all my platforms, and I'm on everything. But if you only follow one, I would really appreciate TikTok. I'm trying to get to 1,000 people so I can go live. I'm at about 650. So if you only do one, I'd love TikTok. Twitter is a close second, not a close second. It's a way down there second. But just to explain the name, it's NASCART Inc. NASC is the first 4 letters of NASCAR. That's what I've been covering for 12 years. And then Hart, my last name, and Inc. for incorporated. NASCART Inc. So that's that. And yeah, so that'd be, let's see, Dave, Mo Purple, and Muffy, Mo, yay, I am well too. Oh, good. I'm glad everybody's doing well. Muffy, Dave, well, maybe someday. Yeah, I think I have faith that Dave will figure it out, Muffy. Mo, Dave, do you need a DeLorean? I reckon. Golly, that is so funny. And you mentioned that before, Lady V. That is funny. And Muffy, Mo, haha. And Dave, maybe someday it will be fixed. I have faith in you. So anyway, I don't want to plow through these comments, but I usually get way behind and then people leave and I miss saying goodbye to them and all that stuff. I'll take a pause there.
Well, right this minute, I think you have the people that truly care about you in here, Joe.
And I agree. I think this is a very tight group. And I really appreciate everybody here. You all are so special. So thank you very much. For sure. Probably the topic for today, and I put it in the description, is just Idaho 4 and just open discussion or general discussion and other miscellaneous. But since there's not a lot of new information, and sometimes I am plowing through information. I'm printing up 20, 30 pages a day, and I'm trying to disseminate all that, and so I'm always going through stuff. But since there's not a lot of stuff, I'm like, whew, sometimes I need to decompress and start re-examining stuff. And as I've mentioned to a lot of people here, and feel free to talk about whatever y'all want in chat, and you, Lady V. But I've described on a couple of my streams that, the first couple of weeks of this case, I was involved in all the speculating and the allegedlys and all that stuff. And I shouted out names and stuff, but about the time that the cop said, well, you could be sued with what you said. And that has nothing to do with it, because I don't usually care if cops, I don't usually listen to those kind of authorities, but I just started modifying my streams. I was like, why don't we get back to profiling and, the what we know, like what the updates have been from law enforcement, which means Moscow Police Department, and the 3 press conferences. And I never got through that yet, but I wanted to just go through the press conferences and not to rag about what the chief did and what the captain did, but just see if we can see more stuff. And that would probably be a pretty boring stream, but I'm just those 3, the
Oh, I don't know. That might be interesting. I haven't seen them.
I think it'd be real interesting, just because now we have 5 weeks perspective, so we can pick out different things like, oh, that didn't make sense then, but now it does,
Why don't we do that?
Well, and we can. Yeah. Did you want to do something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty slow right now, so it would be kind of neat to see from a different perspective what they said earlier.
And I'm
Mo says a TikToker is being sued by an Idaho professor.
Yeah, they sure are.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an interesting TikToker. She's I would pray for her. I think she has some challenges, yeah, she's an interesting TikToker. But but I, my experience in these few short 5 weeks, I think there's multiple people that either walked the line or went over the line of, whatever you want to call it,
it's
slander.
Easy to do, yeah.
Yeah, the slander, the defamation, or whatever. So I think there's a lot of people that are certainly dancing on that line for sure.
Oh.
And I did it the first 2 weeks. But anyway, I'm trying to just anyway, let me just mention 2 more things. The brand new YouTube page, the Moscow Police PIO, it was opened December 5th, and their first video was December 6th. And those are the 1 minute plus, and I think they currently have 10 videos, which is, 17 days, 10 videos. So it's about one every other day or one a day or something. And, they're, I know that the PIO is asking the question. So it's a protected interview. It's not really an interview. I know that, but it's good to just hear them, again, what is being released. And then the other thing is the King, I don't know what it's called. Let me type on here. It's the, the King Street homicide, or, where it's on the City of Moscow, Idaho website, where the official press conference, where the official press updates are. So anyway, that's the 3 that I want to focus on. So I'm way behind in comments. I might pull up that video. And
I think you're okay on comments. People are just kind of talking with each other. Now on the Moscow, on the websites that you're talking about on Facebook, I don't really check those out too much every day. So, I mean, I think it would be interesting to hear what they all are for those of us that don't look all the time.
And if I do say so myself, I mean, again, there's 10 videos. And one is like 5 minutes something, and the other is 6 minutes something, or 5 high, like 5:59. And then the rest are 1 minute something. So they're all less than 2 minutes, except for the 2. So it really is 26 minutes, and we can do all 10 of them. So it is, and I can critique that chief like the best of us. Of course I can. But again, if we would just say, well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and it's okay if he smiles, and it's okay that they really messed up at the beginning, but let's just listen to his 26 minutes. And it's also the captain. The captain does about 3 or 4 but it is nice. It's compact. Now the press conferences are not compact. They're 20, mid 20s, mid 30s, and low 30s. So that's a chunk of time.
Yeah, I don't think though that those really matter. I mean, you can like fast forward through them or whatever you want, but I think all of that would be interesting because I'll be honest with you. Since I got back from vacation, I need to catch up on stuff too. There's some things that I've missed and things that I've heard repeatedly, but yeah, I think that would be interesting. I mean, it'd give us something to do and sit and talk about, right?
Yeah, well, let's and I want to do everything, and I am assuming that my numbers would probably drop a little bit when I do the press conferences, but no, I would like to do all of them, and I don't have any timestamps, so it would be the entire 25 minutes.
No,
I
think it'd be interesting.
Well, let's
But
start
I
with
mean,
the
it's your
first one.
channel. You do what you want. I'm just throwing out suggestions of things I haven't seen.
Well, let's start with the first one.
And we need to always remember too that we may only see a few here on his StreamYard or his YouTube channel because he's just starting that up. But there are a lot of other people that are listening to us, and we don't want to lose them either.
Cool. Hey, Jody. I'm sorry I missed you. It's good to see you. I'm just streaming down the comments just to find out who I've missed, and that's it. So Jody's the new one. Thank you for being here, Jody. So I'll start with the first press conference. So let me see. Present, share screen again. Go to Chrome tab. It might be this one. So let's see if that's showing on the screen. Okay, that's it.
And I think that he gets a lot of flack because he smiles. But I mean, okay, to me, it's probably one of those things where you get nervous and it's an inappropriate one. But we also have to remember this guy's a pretty small town sheriff, so I mean, he's used to trying to be nice to people, right?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
So I think that's part of it too.
Yeah. I mean, I have plenty of opinions about him, but yeah, I think the ultimate thing is, here we are 40 days later.
Yeah.
And we all have to be on the same team, and we all have the same goals. So I kind of almost want to embrace them, of like,
Right.
okay, he's human. They didn't have much experience, and a list. I could list 20 things that were, but I'm not trying to focus on that. Now I'm trying to figure out how to remove this banner. Oh, it's a banner. So I go elsewhere. Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Let me try. Let me show that. Okay, that won't get in the way. Okay, now I figured those out. So, okay, so I'm going to go off screen. I won't see you, but I think y'all will see me. So I'm off screen for me. So the tape is 39 minutes and 33 seconds, but the first 7 minutes is idle time. So I'm going to hit start, and Chief James Fry or Chief Fry will be walking right up to the podium. I think he waits about 10 seconds for everybody to walk past him, and then he starts. So this should be started pretty quickly, which therefore is 32 minutes, 33 seconds. And if we pause it, it will be even longer. But I think it's important. I'd like to watch it. So, and Lady V, I really appreciate you mentioning that you would like to see it. So thank you. And if anybody wanted to comment and say, yeah, that would be pretty good to see, that would be nice too. So I'm going to hit the start in 3, 2, 1.
Here. My name is Chief James Fry with the Moscow Police Department. I'm going to be reading from my notes today because I want the information you receive to be extremely accurate. We know you have questions, and so do we. That is why we're here. I'd like to thank everyone for attending this press conference. Joining me today is the Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson, University of Idaho President Scott Green, Provost and Vice President Tori Lawrence, University of Idaho Dean of Students Blaine Eccles, Latah County Sheriff Richie Skiles, Chief Deputy of Latah County Tim Best, Idaho State Police Colonel Kedrick Wills. The Moscow Police Department would like to extend our condolences to all family members, friends, the University of Idaho, and the Moscow community. This was a horrible crime that took the lives of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves. This horrible crime has affected all of us, the families, the University of Idaho, our community, our country, and our officers. Agencies that are involved in this task force include Latah County Sheriff's Office, the Idaho State Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations. As we continue our investigation, we have learned that Ethan and Xana were at a party on campus, and Madison and Kaylee were at a downtown bar. They arrived home sometime after 1:45. If anyone in our community or across our nation has any information about these times or the victim's whereabouts, please call our tip line at 208-883-7180. The facts of the case that we know right now. We know that these homicides occurred in the early morning hours of Sunday, November 13th. Around noon, Moscow officers received a call of an unconscious person. Officers discovered the bodies of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves inside the residence on King Road. The four were stabbed with a knife, but no weapon has been located at this time. There was no sign of forced entry into the residence. Investigators are continuing to collect evidence at the scene. Investigators are working to develop a timeline to relevant events. Autopsies are taking place today on all the victims so we can continue to gather evidence and solve the crime. Investigators are working to follow up on all leads and to identify a person of interest. Based on details at the scene, we believe this was an isolated, targeted attack on our victims. We do not have a suspect at this time, and that individual is still out there. We cannot say that there's no threat to the community, and as we have stated, please stay vigilant, report any suspicious activity, and be aware of your surroundings at all times. What we don't know, the identity and location of the suspect, the location of the knife or any clothing that was worn by the suspect. Currently, we have 25 plus investigators working this case, as well as assistance from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Idaho State Police. We're reviewing video that has been collected, but we are asking citizens to contact us with any information you may have that will help in this investigation. Once again, we're asking anyone with it to call the tip line at 208-883-7180. At this time, I would like to introduce the University of Idaho President, Scott Green.
Thank you, Chief Fry. I'm Scott Green, president of the University of Idaho, and with me is Tori Lawrence. He's our provost, and Blaine Eccles, our dean of students, will be available for questions after all of the statements are made. The crime, to us, this crime and the loss of these young lives is just simply beyond comprehension. While our small community is certainly not immune to such things, it's not a situation our close-knit campus is used to dealing with. First, my deepest condolences to the families.
Whew.
And friends of Ethan, Kaylee, Zena, and Madison. Excuse me. Their loss has been devastating, and they were bright lights in our community and are deeply missed and remain in our thoughts and our prayers. We've been working with Moscow police since we were notified on Sunday of the crime. We've helped when asked and continually pushed for information whenever possible, knowing that we cannot interfere with the important work and good investigations that are occurring. We just want justice for these victims. Our focus at the university is to support our students and our employees. We are encouraging students and employees to take care of themselves as we head into Thanksgiving break. I want to take a moment to commend our faculty and staff who have been on the front lines helping our students, whether that is providing counseling to those in need of support, accommodating those who want to travel home, or engaging those who find comfort in staying busy interacting with their peers and our instructors in class. Our employees stepped up when our students needed them. While we have relied heavily on the expertise of Moscow police, we feel confident that remaining open with flexibility to leave allows our students to decide what is best for them. The weeks ahead will continue to challenge us as this loss and the circumstances around this crime become known. We will support each other as we grieve, and we'll move through this together as a Vandal family. Thank you.
I would like to have Colonel Kedrick Wills come to the podium, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Kedrick Wills. I serve as the director of the Idaho State Police. And as we have this discussion today, I'd like to express my appreciation for your attendance here because it's important, vitally important, that we get the information that we have out to the public. Crime knows no boundaries, and these murders have shaken us to our very core. You heard the university president as well as the chief of police talk about this small community, and it's a very close, tight-knit community. And our hearts break for the families that lost their loved ones, the University of Idaho, the Moscow community, and even within our entire state. Be assured, the Idaho State Police is firmly in support of the work that the Moscow Police Department is doing, and we are providing every resource that we can to make sure that this comes to a conclusion, and the person or people that this is responsible are brought to justice. It's so important that you understand that this takes a team effort. This is teamwork with the university, with this Moscow City Police Department, the Latah County Sheriff's Office, the Idaho State Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It takes everybody to be able to do this. And it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act of getting the community the information that they need to have with making sure that we provide a case that the Latah County Prosecutor's Office can go forward with. Governor Little, Idaho's governor, full weight of all the resources we have within our state are available to Chief Fry and to his team. Our crime lab is also involved with processing evidence, and our law enforcement throughout the region, state and federal agencies continue to provide resources. From the Idaho State Police's perspective, we provided detectives here from this area, as well as detectives from out of the area, state police detectives, as well as patrol resources and communications assistance as well to provide for Chief Fry and his team. Following this briefing, our communications director from the Idaho State Police, Aaron Snell. If you'd raise your hand, Aaron, he will be the contact for all press media inquiries from here on out. He'll be working closely with Chief Fry and his team. And we have additional, like I said, additional patrol and investigation resources brought to bear here as well. We want to do everything we can to make sure that this is done correctly and that the people that are responsible for this are brought to justice.
So at this time, I'm going to open it up to some questions that I'm sure you have, and we'll do the best we can to answer those for you.
Hello, Chief Ray.
Hello.
Thank you for having us. I'm Amanda Rowley with Creme 2 News. You mentioned that there's an indication that it's an isolated, targeted incident, and there is an individual somewhere. Can you give us a reason as to why there's that belief there is a suspect? Can you also give a little more information on the forced entry? There's no sign of forced entry, but was the door, did it seem like any of the entries were left unlocked by any means?
I'll answer the last part there just because it's at the front end of my mind. We're not 100% sure if the door was unlocked, but there was no damage to anything, and the door was still open when we got there.
And my first question,
Yeah.
if you'd like me to read.
No, I think I haven't. In these cases, we take the totality of the things that we see, and they're very dynamic, right? And they're very big, and there's a lot of information, and we try to take that information, and some of it we can't share with you, correct? But we try to take that information, we try to make the best educated decision we can. We review that as a team with our detectives, along with our prosecutors, along with the university, and we try to make that best decision on that. So we, at that time, believe that there was no a threat, and our goal is to provide safety for this community. That's why we're bringing in the resources we're bringing. We want a close to this, and we want to do everything we can to let the people in our community know that we care. We want them to feel safe. We want them to be safe, and we're going to do everything we can to do that.
And if I could add one more question. You asked for videos or anything from the community to help put together that timeline. We obtained a copy of Twitch video, and family members of the Gonsalves family were able to identify Maddie and Kaylee in those videos at a food truck ordering food. Is the police department, our investigators, aware of that video, and has it helped put together that timeline?
We are aware of that video, and it has helped. It gives us a time and space where we know that two of our victims were, and that helps us a ton, and we'll continue to follow up all leads that we can and continue to gather those.
Any indication of a party at the home that night?
And this will be the last one, okay? I understand. Not that we know of, not at the home. We know that the other, let me get the names exactly right here. We know that Zaina and Ethan were at a different party on campus. But that timeline will still help us if other people know about that.
Thank you.
Chief Wright, John Webb with KHQ. On September 12th, there was a vandal alert that was sent out about a potential stabbing threat on Paradise Path. Does this have any connection with what we've seen so far?
Not that we know of it, but we're following up every lead. Every piece of information we get, we are following up to ensure that nothing has gone unturned. We want to have the individual identified, who is the suspect of this eventually. So we are literally looking into every aspect of everything.
And you guys have said repeatedly that there's no threat to the public, but we don't know who the suspect is. We don't know where he's at. How is there no threat to the public at this point?
Well, that's kind of an unknown. Like I said, we took the information that we had at the time, but we do need to be aware the individual is still out there, right? We need to be vigilant. We need to watch out for our neighbors. We're a community policing community. We've said that for years, and it's a community that watches out for each other. We need to continue to do that until we can close this off and make an arrest.
Why has there been such limited information over the past couple of days? I mean, we're almost 4 days into this. Why has it been so limited?
Yeah, it's a difficult, we have a lot of information coming in, and, we have tried to push out some information through press releases. But the reality is, I probably should have been standing here a day or so ago, but I'm here now. We're going to continue to be here. We're going to continue to give you the information we can. We care about this community. I care about this community. I've worked here for 27 years. I want this community to be the safest community around. So
The mayor's called it a crime of passion. Is there any indication that that's true?
we're looking into every aspect of this. I'm not going to stipulate whether it's one thing or another. We're going to continue to investigate until we have the facts, because really it's the facts that will drive what the cause of this is. And as we gather evidence, we'll get that. So
Okay. One last
somebody else?
question, if I could, Chief. Have we looked at any boyfriends or any ex-boyfriends, any spouses as a potential suspect?
I will tell you, we're looking at everyone. Every tip we get, every lead we get, there's no one that we're not going to talk to. There's no one we're not going to interview. There's no one that we're not going to look into. And we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to make sure that nothing goes unturned. We do everything we can with the assistance of all the resources we have to get a final answer.
Okay, thanks, Chief Fry.
So just wanted to check in. That's about halfway. We're probably at 18 minutes or so left. And yeah, this is great, Joe. I haven't seen this. Oh, cool, Muffy. And I would a little out of the camera there. So I want to finish it, but I guess someday I'll try to figure out how to do those polls of enter 1 if you want to continue on this video, or enter 2 if you want to go to the Moscow Police PIO YouTube page and do 1 minute something videos. So I'll probably continue this, but I just wanted to get into the practice of doing that kind of stuff. And any thoughts, lady? Then this is very interesting. Okay, cool, Muffy. I'll get back to it.
Sorry, yeah, not right now, Joe.
Okay, that's cool. Thanks. So I'll go back, and here we go. Looks like 16 minutes left. 16 minutes.
So there were, sorry, I'm Emma Epperly with this book's interview. Hi. So there were other roommates who lived at that residence. Were the roommates home at the time of the attack?
There was other people home at that time, but we're not just focusing just on them. We're focusing on everybody that may be coming and going from that residence.
So since they were home, was it a hostage situation?
No, it was not.
And then they didn't call it into police. So were they injured?
They were not injured. But like I said, we're still following up with everybody that could have been in that area.
And how can you say it's a targeted attack if you don't have a suspect?
Like I said, we take the totality of the situation. We try to make the best bit of information we can with everything that comes in, and then we make our decision off of that. So at this time, I'm not going to expand upon that. But like I've said, we do have it out somewhere, and we are looking for that individual to solve this.
Hi, Rachel Sun, Northwest Public Broadcasting. I just want to clarify something you said earlier. Over the past couple of days, the information that we've been getting is there's not a threat to the public. And earlier I heard you say you can't be assured that there is no threat. I just want to clarify what your stance is on that at this time.
So we still believe it's a targeted attack, but the reality is there's still out there who committed 4 horrible crimes. So I think we got to go back to there is a threat out there still, possibly. We don't know. We don't believe it's going to be to anybody else, but we all have to be aware of our surroundings and make sure that we're watching out for each other.
Okay, and then one other follow-up. I know you said when the call came in, it was for an unconscious person, and also that was a stabbing. It seems, just from an outside perspective looking in, like that would be not the first thing a person calling in would think.
You're right. But the report that we got was that it was an unconscious individual. It wasn't until our officers arrived on scene, went in to do caregiving check on the individual who was unconscious that we found the scene that we found.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Heather Roberts with ABC News. Just to follow up on what she asked. So the other two roommates were there at the time of the attack?
All the information that we have from our investigation is that yes, they were.
Okay, but they were unhurt.
That is correct.
So is there any explanation as to why it took so long then for someone to call 911? You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning and the 911 call didn't come until noon?
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there. So, we don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night. Would have we loved for that to have happened? Yes, but that's not how it took place. So that's why we're investigating everything still to try to pull all the pieces together.
Were they one of the people, were they the 911 caller?
At this point in time, I'm not going to divulge who our 911 caller is, just because I want to keep the integrity of the investigation at this point. Okay.
Okay. And last question, are you able to tell whether the same weapon was used on all 4 victims?
That's why we're having the autopsies done. The autopsy will confirm that and hopefully collect some evidence for us, even from those. That's why you do the autopsies, is to try to be thorough and try to gather more. So we'll leave that would probably be something that would come out later.
Okay.
Excuse me, Derek Shug, Fox News Digital. Was there anything missing in the home, or were the purses still there? Any robbery attempt, anything like that?
Nothing that we have identified. And I'm going to take about 2 more questions. All right.
Hi, I'm Tim with the Daily Evergreen. I was just wondering, were the 2 other individuals present at the home when police responded at noon?
Yes.
Okay.
Chief, if you don't mind elaborating a bit more on those 2 people. Was it 2 people? What have those people shared about the circumstances of that night, what they saw or didn't see?
Well, I'm not going to go into what they shared that night. Obviously, that's part of our investigation. That's part of the information that we're trying to build our complete story with. So at that, as far as that goes, we're not going to go any further into what they know and what they don't know.
How many were there?
We believe 2.
Chief, have you looked into the social media accounts of all the different victims? Do you? We understand that one may have had an account linked to her Instagram account. Have you looked into those accounts? Have you seen any sort of threats made to any of the individuals?
So we are looking at all resources. We got, like I said, the Federal Bureau of Investigation helping us. We got our detectives, our forensic detectives looking into that. We're trying to pull this whole picture. We're looking at everything that we can look at, social media, etc. So to answer your question, yes, we are.
Were the victims all found in one part of the house?
I'm not going to divulge that either. That's part of our investigation. And at this time, I'm going to go ahead and close this off. But if you have any questions for the university, we'll open that up at this point in time.
Who has not had a chance to ask a question? Yes, over here.
Me?
Here and then here.
Oh, okay, thanks. Actually, I had a question for the chief, so I don't know.
Okay, well, you want to pass it?
Okay. What is the university doing to make their students feel safe?
Yeah, great question. At this time, I think I'll turn this over to Blaine, who's been dealing directly with our students and dealing with those that truly still feel unsafe despite some of the assurances and things that we're doing. Blaine?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the question. A question of safety is on everyone's mind right now. We have increased campus safety patrols. Our executive director of campus safety and security, Jake Nichols, is out of the way actually here, and so I'm sure he'd be able to answer some of those questions. We have a campus safety escort where students can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to arrange for a security escort to be escorted across campus during the day or night. It doesn't matter at any point in time. We're also providing resources to students to help them navigate through this from an emotional standpoint. We've had drop-in counseling that has been utilized both in our counseling center as well as the student union building. And we're also supporting students, like President Green indicated, that if they want to leave and go home now, they absolutely can. We're going to support them in doing so. Many students have questions about their academics and whatnot, but this is a very dynamic, fluid situation, and we want to make sure we're supporting students and their families to get through this the way that they need to.
Yeah, absolutely. Washington State University is about 8 miles that way. What would you suggest that Wazoo does to make their students feel safe if they're unsafe?
Yeah, communication and encouraging students to reach out and use resources. That's a fantastic campus. I talked to their dean of students office yesterday, and they are mobilizing their support resources. All campuses have supports in place. Students just need to make sure they're leaning in and reaching out to it. And many times students don't, but we encourage that. Absolutely.
Hi, this is Hadia Thark with the Argonaut. This may be a question for Scott Green or Blaine Eccles. So with the decision to cancel classes on Monday, while I understand the university is trying to remain flexible for students, why has class not been canceled for the remainder of the week?
Well, because a number of our students still want to go to class. They gain comfort in being around their other students. They gain comfort from interacting and staying busy with their faculty and attending classes, labs. Some are working on their semester projects. So we've heard from them. At the same time, we want to provide the ability for any student who did not feel comfortable staying around, who did not want, who was unable to process that way, that they had that opportunity to go, and we've been helping them as well. All these absences are excused. We've asked our faculty to work with those students who chose to go. So we felt this is the best way, to respond, to give as much flexibility as we could to our students and our faculty to help manage the situation. And frankly, I think they've done a very, very good job. Thank you.
Is the university working with the parents or the families of the victims? Are you in touch with them?
They are. I'll turn that back over to Blaine. I know we both have been in contact with the families, but he's been very close to it. And so, Blaine, you want to take that question?
Absolutely. One of the hardest jobs I have is talking to parents of students who have died. It's the absolute worst part of my job. And so I've reached out and made contact with all the families. We've offered our support, and we're going to stay in constant contact with them. I communicated with them almost every day. We usually give it a little space and time before we reach out, just for the sheer shock of absorbing the loss of a child and what that looks like. But we're going to stay in support of them moving forward for the weeks and months to come, and in whatever capacity they need.
We've talked to a few of them, and they've expressed some frustration with the lack of communication from investigators and from the officials involved on that side of it. Has the university heard that from them? How are you working with them to help kind of close that communication gap?
Sure. I do know that Captain Barrett from the Moscow Police Department is also in constant contact with them. He reaches out to them on a regular basis. From that standpoint, I think it's safe to say everyone, the families most of all, want information, and they want justice. And I can't do anything but honor what their needs are and what they are. Whenever I hear a concern from the family members about what's going on, I'll definitely make sure I communicate that to the Moscow Police Department. They're very busy. They're working, the men and women of this department are working really hard on their behalf and on our community's behalf. But if I can be a conduit to share information, we're absolutely going to do that.
Has there been any update on the candlelight vigil that is postponed till after the break?
I believe it's November 30th.
November
At what time?
We're looking at 5 or 5:30. We're trying to finalize. Well, let me say.
Yeah.
There was a candlelight vigil that was originally scheduled tonight, but because of the volume of students who have left, we want to make sure we're creating a space where they can participate. We don't want someone driving back during this time to do that. So we've rescheduled to November 30th. We haven't finalized the time. We will definitely be sharing that out to our students in our community and the larger community. We're just finalizing some details. We're going to communicate that with the families as well. It'll be on campus. We haven't figured out the location yet because we're going to be monitoring what the weather looks like. We anticipate a large amount of individuals. That being said, we also have 2 communities that are just providing beautiful support. There's a candlelight vigil in Boise tonight in honor of our lost students. And there's also a candlelight vigil tonight in Coeur d'Alene. And I say nothing but thank you and for the love and support from those communities that are supporting us. And we've seen that support come across the country and around the world for the University of Idaho and these families. And so it's a beautiful thing.
President Green, could you talk a little bit about the vandal alert that involved the knife and how the university handled it and what you found in that case?
Yeah, so basically we were just responding to the information that we had from the Moscow Police Department at that time. We have an incident response team. We gathered Sunday as we were notified by the Moscow Police Department that there had been a crime committed. At the time, we weren't sure if they were students or not, and we wanted to provide help to the Moscow Police Department, and we think we were able to do that successfully to help them, identify those students and contact their relatives. So, beyond that, it was just trying to understand what the assessment was of the risk to the campus. And we relied on our subject matter experts, as you've heard. They know more than any of us about this. And then based on that, we started making decisions about, how to move forward this week.
Yeah. And so what were those decisions around that initial alert? What was the conclusion you had at that point about the level of risk?
Well, of course, your first, on the first vandal alert, it was high risk. We had really no information, and we asked our students to shelter in place, and until we got the all clear, it wasn't an all clear, but a reduced risk where we could where students could start to move around more freely. We had people sheltering in places like the library, and the Pittman Center, and places around campus, and we didn't want to keep them there all night if we didn't have to. And so as soon as Moscow Police Department determined that it was safe for them to begin moving around but be vigilant, we sent the other vandal alerts.
Yeah, my apology. I was referring to the earlier vandal alert involving the threatening with the knife that happened in September.
Yeah, you want to respond to that? Thank you, Blaine.
So, vandal alert. We had a group of students walking back to Greek Row from a location off campus. They encountered an individual who was not affiliated with the university. They got into, from my understanding, a verbal altercation, and he ended up flashing a knife at them. It was not a stabbing. It was not a stabbing attack. It was a threat, to the best that we know. We sent out a vandal alert warning the individuals of our campus community at that time. I don't have the specific date, but it's out there from that aspect of it. And it's my understanding that individual then later turned himself into law enforcement, and they've addressed what that happens.
So it's not connected in any way to this homicide.
That's a question for law enforcement.
You know who he is.
September 12th. I know about the incident. I don't know the individual because he's not affiliated with the university. So my understanding, he turned himself into law enforcement. So I can't answer the question of whether he's connected with this or not.
So we want to thank you again for coming. That's going to be all the questions we take at this time. We appreciate you coming and spending time with us, and we will continue to put out information as we have time. And we want to reassure the community that the Moscow Police Department and everybody working will do everything we can. We love this community. We've a lot of us have went to the University of Idaho, and we are vandals, and we will do everything we can to solve this. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm back. I just noticed. I didn't notice earlier, but oh wait a minute. Hold on one second. Thanks. Oh, sure, Lady V. I'm not sure what happened. So let me find that. Let's see, invite. Plug. There you go, Lady V. So yeah, Lady V will probably be coming back up here shortly. But yeah, that was the first press conference. It was November 16th, I think at 3:30. I think it was a Sunday. Yeah, I think it went Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. Or it might have been the other way. Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday. Anyway, I like to have that stuff right. Hey, Lady V. So I'm going to pop her in. So there. Hey, Lady V.
Hey, that was all my fault. Sorry.
No problem. I didn't notice. I looked down there. I was like, hey, she's not there. So
Yeah, I didn't realize that so much had gotten lost in the shuffle of information.
You mean from the press conference?
Yeah.
But like what?
Oh, just going back over things and just like who was there, and just I mean, it's just good to refresh. It's nothing major. It's just good to refresh in your brain what they were talking about at the beginning.
For sure. And I'm trying to do that with the updates too. I don't remember stuff, so I have to print them up. So I'm printing up the updates every day, and I'm not totally caught up yet. But yeah, I'm just trying to I think it's good to just, especially because I mean, it's not good that we have a 40-day perspective, but we do have a 40-day perspective. So now we can listen to it differently and go, okay. So yeah, it's I think it's really neat. Did anybody in the chat want to address or talk about anything about the first press conference? I know and I don't mean to go out of order, but I just happened to notice most recently Muffy had mentioned, she hoped the cell phones are found. And, sometimes I'm like, whose cell phones? But she was talking about the 4 victims. And that's a great question. I don't have the answer to that. I'm pretty certain. And this was one of the earlier interviews with Kaylee's dad, Steve. But so now that we've seen Steve be, quite vocal, and then got, a little charged up, and then he went silent for a little bit, and he is welcome to do whatever he wants. I feel for him, and it's just, I mean, I can't imagine it. But this was early on. I think he had either said they have Kaylee's phone and they're looking through it, or they have seen Kaylee's phone. So I'm pretty sure, including.
I can't imagine that they have the cell phone. I would think that the law enforcement would have it. I think they went through the cloud.
That probably makes sense. And I might. Yes, absolutely. It's got to remain. What's that called? It's got to remain evidence. So yeah, I'm sure Ellie, and I would guess Ellie has all 4 phones, but and multiple phones, whoever's they can get, like all the jacks and whatever. But I think they'd need a warrant to get theirs. But oh, you're a cute little puppy.
Sorry.
No, I love cats and dogs can do anything in my stream. I love them. So but yeah, so I don't know, things that were interesting to me. Now that and Muffy and Lady V, it was good to hear y'all talk about that we ought to be a little lighter on LE, and y'all didn't quite Muffy didn't quite understand why they were getting a bad rap. So I'll try to curb my comments a little bit. But I think, now that Chief Fry came out recently and said, we have 94 years experience, and he didn't address whether the person in charge had 2 years experience, but he said, but anyway, during this, he said 27 years as chief. I mean, that's a ton of time. So
yeah, and it's sad because if the law enforcement goes too quickly, people gripe at them about that. It's like they can't win.
And I think, and this is my second case, so I haven't had many cases, but I think everybody, I'll speak for myself. I'm quite emotionally charged because of the circumstances, 4 people and young people. And it's sad to say that 3 beautiful women probably, bring I feel bad that that's true, but it is true that they become, headline news because they're attractive, and, Ethan was attractive, things like that. But but yeah, I think
You know,
that's go
I
ahead.
do have something to say about the dad, and don't hate on me, guys, because this is just an observation.
Sure.
You know, in the media, we have focused so much on Kaylee and then Maddie. And sometimes I think Ethan and Xana get lost in the shuffle. I understand his frustration. I don't know what it feels like, but I understand it. But the thing of it is, he has to remember there's 3 other people that their lives was lost as well, not just his daughters. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just think sometimes it might be good to maybe curb your emotions a little bit here and there if I were him.
I agree with you completely. Absolutely.
Because, he may release some stuff that is vital to the case that he really didn't want to, released yet.
And I've talked about Steve, and I always preface with I'm sorry, the way I describe Steve, I assign him two different 100%, which you can't do that. All humans only have one 100%, but I would say 100%. Steve can say whatever he wants. He can get out there. I feel sorry for him. That's 100%. And in the other 100%, which you can't do it. It's not mathematically possible. But I assign another 100% of if only there was someone he would listen to. And I was talking 2 weeks ago. So, I didn't at the time, I didn't think it'd be his wife, but it would probably be his daughter, Olivia, that would sit him down and say, Dad, we don't want to lose this case. We don't want to. And I don't know all the details. We don't want a hung jury. We don't want to,
If you're going to convict, you want to make sure you don't give anything to the perpetrator that could be used in court, or anything that might give them a heads up that they can cover. I am not judging him, because I would probably be the same way. My husband would be livid, but at the same time, it's not just about Kaylee either. It's about the other 3 people as well.
Right. And I don't know how it's going to work legally. I'm sure the option would be to do 1 case for all 4 murders, or to do 4 cases for all 4 murders, because then, he could get a mistrial and the other 3 don't get a mistrial, so, but recently, I'm seeing a bunch of streams every day, and I've backed off a bit because I think it just wore on my well-being. But I'm still seeing a lot. But I like to watch the streams of how does that affect, and it wasn't anything to do with Steve only talking about 1 kid instead of 4 kids. It was just that, and it wasn't about that the killer could get information that they can manipulate and but it was all about the defense lawyer can present these things that Steve's doing,
right?
And so that's concerning, and Steve's been more quiet. Now, there was one particular day, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I was in Brittany's stream or someone's stream, and they're like, boy, it's really nice that, or they didn't, they were just saying, isn't it interesting that Steve's not doing 4 interviews a day? And then like an hour later, he posted, he was on some channel, and we're like, well, I guess he's always going to talk. But
right. And the thing of it is that I know when they report things that are false, I know that would be really hard to keep your mouth shut. But they might be doing it as a diversion.
Mm. Of having
the
Steve
LE.
By having Steve talk, is that the diversion?
No, by having him not talk, because they might put out something that might be incorrect as a diversion for the perp.
Oh, wow. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes entirely perfect sense. Other things, and yeah, did you have more about Steve, or did you want to bring up a second topic that you liked, Lady V?
No, my heart really goes out to him, and I tell you what, he and his daughter are probably some of the best crime sleuthers that for a family, I mean, and my heart breaks for all four of these kids. It's just, I think there's sometimes that it's good for parents to go out to the media, and sometimes it might be better to step back or ask Lee, hey, is it okay if I say this? Is there a reason you don't want me to say this? And he's never been against the authorities there. He was against that lawyer that was standing between him and the law enforcement. So I know that has to be a hard situation, but I think for anybody like him, he's learning a balance between when he should say something and when he shouldn't. It's kind of weird to me that all the other parents are so quiet, though.
And I was just about to bring them up, I think it is interesting. I don't go, man, if I was them, I'd be talking up a storm, but I just think it's interesting that they're not talking. And I tend to be empathetic and compassionate, and I might be slightly incorrect on the parents, but I think I'll try to get it right. I think Maddie's dad, during the vigil, he was visibly shaking and his voice was shaking. And I was like, I just felt for him. And I was like, wow,
absolutely.
Thank you for getting up there. But man, if you don't want to talk, and people were interviewing him afterwards. And I was just like, it was breaking my heart. It was like, I wish everybody had a handler to say, he's not wanting to talk right now. Could you stop asking him questions? Right. And then, I'm an addict, alcoholic, I'm in recovery, and it's, but for the grace of God, go I. I did some footwork, but I had intervention for sure. And, so I'm very sympathetic, very, very, very sympathetic towards Xana's mother. And people are like, oh, she's this and she's that. And I'm like, well, so, so anyway, it is 4 different people, 4 different victims and 4 different families. And they just have their own, they have their own dynamics. There's, 1 parent, 2 parents' house, and then 4 parents' house. There's all different variations, but it would be interesting to hear the others talk more if they wanted to, for sure.
Right. I mean, I don't know what they would say. Maybe silence is better than anything else, but.
And I would imagine, maybe I'm wrong in this. I don't know enough, but it's possible that every parent got a lawyer. I don't know if they need it. I mean, I don't know why they would need a lawyer, but I bet they have a consultant of sorts. So, and Muffy says, I feel most affected by Xana and Ethan. I don't know why, but I just feel a strong connection to them.
Actually, I really do too, Muffy. I think that's why it weighs on me, because I mean, none of us know what we're going to do unless we're put in that situation. But, I just think we need to make sure we remember the other 3, and the other 3 families that are hurting as well, a little more in this true crime community here.
And I agree. Like I said, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was screaming names and stuff. And, I probably, I think I was guilty like most people, but, just naturally, or for whatever reason, Kaylee became the top person to focus on. And then Maddie is kind of connected at the hip. So she became number 2. And then Ethan is a male, so he's probably 4th. And then Xana's, but, and I don't know why I even just ranked them. That's not even a good thing to do. But yeah, I wish they would all get the same representation, and, but, and it is amazing how so many people I've heard, mostly females. I mean, in a chat room, you don't really know people's genders, but you can kind of get a feel for it, and you might be incorrect, but it seemed like I've seen a lot of comments from females saying, I really have connected with Xana, so we just have so yeah, I agree with you, Muffy, for sure. So, I don't know, we can, so yeah, thank you, Lady V, for suggesting that I open my YouTube on my iPad, and that's neat. And when I write it, well, on my laptop and my iPad, I'm unable to pull up, like if I type in L, @ and LA, it will come up Lady D. Well, I can't do that on these two. So I'm just writing, but it's nice that on the iPad, if I write a comment, it just prints once, which is nice. Instead of over here, it prints 3 times. So
Right.
Thank you, Lady V, for that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm sorry I'm not very exciting today. I'm really not feeling very good.
And feel free. I mean, health is number one, and taking care of yourself is number one. And feel free to step out whenever you need to, or I mean, it's fine. It really is.
I appreciate that, Joe.
Anytime. Please take care of yourself and your puppy dog So
I will.
Again, I don't know if I just wrote down, and Steph B. So sorry, Lady B. By the way, Steffi, I don't know. I mean, you got a heck of a welcome with comments, and I tried to wave to you, but Steph B, thank you for it's so nice to see you so soon. So I appreciate you subbing and telling me that you subbed and then came over here. So thank you so much for being here. I'm smaller and more intimate and stuff, but we're growing and stuff, but I really appreciate you being here. I tried to take notes, but I was doing a lot of stuff in the background, like technical stuff. But, I just, wrote down the imminent danger that they at first generally said we weren't under imminent danger. And then they kind of back. So that's one thing. And then the unconscious person, everybody is so, everybody's like, well, if the unconscious person was one of the 4 victims, why would they use that description? And if it was one of the 2 surviving housemates outside of the building, so, I mean, I know there's a lot of talk of that. So that's something we could talk about. And then, just generally the surviving housemates. Now, I don't, like I keep saying, I'm trying to get away from name calling or crucifying, or I know that's an extreme word, but I think some of these streams were crucifying at some time. But, like just for an example, Jackass will never have his life again, ever, 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 ever. He'll never have his same life again, ever. And I think that's too bad. But I was guilty. I was part of it. But yeah, I tend to be, it's weird. I mean, I tend to be a skeptic and not believe everything, and I need to verify. So I feel pretty positively about the surviving housemates. I mean, at first what I was saying is, I was like, first of all, we have to do is separate them. It is 2 separate people. We can't keep saying, oh, what did, I'm suspicious about, and I'm like, well, first of all, let's separate them. And then when we separated them, it was like, Dylan, went to the top of the charts, and Bethany kind of just drifted away. No one even, but, so anyway, that can be a topic.
I would like to say something about that.
Sure.
So we need to stop and think. There's a reason why these girls are being protected. Hang on. Okay, hon. They might still be in danger.
Sure, the person is out there for sure. I mean, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I saw your microphone go off. And but feel free to continue your conversation if you'd like. But
yeah, I was talking to my husband.
Oh,
yeah, no, I was just saying, there's a reason why I'm sure these girls are completely devastated by what happened, but also, I mean, we don't know who the target was. Maybe the perp didn't hit the right target. Maybe it was for one of these girls, and Ellie knows more than we do. That's probably not the case, but it very well may be. And they need to be protected from the public right now as well because of all the outrageous things that are happening.
Wow. And I was shaking yes to the other thing that now I forget. But no, I wasn't saying yes that they might have been the wrong target. But yeah, I mean it is, I mean, they're 18, 19, 20 years old. I mean they're young. And we don't know what we would do, and they probably didn't know what they were going to do. And so, I mean, it's weird that, and I'm learning that I don't think I'm necessarily a crime sleuth. I think I did pretty well with this case, and I think I did really well with the Boston Marathon bomber. But that was bombings. It was 2 people. So that was my only 2 cases. So I wouldn't say I'm a crime sleuther, but I know.
Can you imagine what it'd be like? I mean, the things that have been said about other people in this case that are completely innocent. Can you imagine these girls having to deal with that on top of everything that they encountered?
You mean like the Jackson stuff, and that would affect the house?
Like the way people talk about other people in this case. They're just vicious sometimes. And they don't even know if the person's innocent or guilty.
Right.
The girls don't need to deal with that on top of everything they're dealing with now, because I don't really think they had anything to do with it. There's questions I have.
Sure.
That's kind of weird, but I'm sure there's an explanation. I personally don't think that they had anything to do with the death of their roommates.
I agree. I don't think they had anything to do with it. And I don't think they were aware of anybody else being involved with that either.
No, I don't either.
And so Muffy Dragon Slayer says, people going after Jack D really upsets me. And me too. Again, I'm a numbers guy and I rank things, and I probably ought to stop doing that, but I'll probably continue doing it. So yeah, I mean, I think Jack S got way more negative stuff than Jack D, but Jack D is a close second. And none of us know. I mean, I don't think he'll really get his life back either.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, Joe, is that like, okay, so these guys are probably, in my opinion, I don't think they had anything to do with it. But all of this stuff, being accused of everything, that can change people's perceptions. That changes somebody's life for the rest of their life. There's going to be people that automatically think that they were guilty because that's all they ever heard. I mean, it's not fair to people. We can speculate and we can say, oh, like if we're sitting around the kitchen table with our family and friends, I wonder about this and I wonder about that. But, don't go real life on these people.
And, I think with the internet and, if I had the gas, I'm on a limited budget. I don't have much money, but if I had the gas to go to Idaho, I would have been there day one. So, I mean, there's people that do that, and then they put the camera in everybody's face, and
right.
But they're not all super professional. I mean, I'm not super professional, so I'm glad my camera is not out there right now. But but anyway, I wish I went though. But yeah, I mean, so true, and and I don't, never mind. I don't want to refer to other cases because I don't know about other cases. But anyway, Jody Reason. By the way, Jody, I saw your comment about Christmas Eve in Australia, and 5 weeks ago, I was basically a media person for motorsports, and so I cover a ton of motorsports in Australia, and I love it, and New Zealand, and so I love that. So Merry Christmas Eve, Jody.
Yes, Merry Christmas Eve.
I think
from the down under.
Yeah, and I forget. I've figured it out, but now I forgot. But I think Australia, it's something absurd. It's got like 7 time zones. It's got a ton of time zones, but they're all like 15 hours ahead. So it's almost the next day. So anyway, Jody Reason says, it upset me when people were personally attacking Dylan. My heart breaks for her. And me too. She looks differently. She dresses differently. She has had some strange postings, and people just immediately, her boyfriend, whatever. It's just strange that I agree, Jody. Absolutely. Let's see, Muffy. So many of these YouTube creators are accusing so many people. And I really do think there are going to be a lot of defamation lawsuits coming out. If there aren't, I'll be shocked. And I agree. I mean, and again, I was involved probably mostly as a chatter instead of a streamer. But yeah, I mean, there are ways to say it. There are ways to say, I think this, or my hypothesis is this, or my speculation is this. There's ways to say it, and I don't want to blame it on being emotionally charged, but there's a lot of people that are emotionally charged. They'll go into one of these streams and they say, I know that this happened, and I went to the bar and everybody told me it's true, so I know that happened, and there's ways to say it that it's not defamation.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's like the other night I was in a live stream and this person was like, I know exactly who did this, blah, 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 blah. And then they get up there on panel and they don't. They just wanted to use that to get up on panel. But the thing of it is that a lot of them, I understand going into some of their accounts and Facebooks and all of that kind of stuff. I kind of get that. But if there's nothing there, then leave it alone. If there is, it doesn't mean you have to make that person a clickbait,
Right. Exactly.
Because sometimes the clickbait is all people see. They don't watch the show. They just see that clickbait and think, well, this person must have something to do with it.
Right. Well, I am OCD and I'm a pretty good researcher. And I was late to the show on this case, but I'm generally really good at finding them on Twitter and Instagram. And, so usually I'm involved with that immediately. It took me a while to do it on this case. But
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to a point. I really don't. I've looked at people's media and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just
bringing it
do it
to
in
that.
a different tone, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And the only reason I brought that up is, if we ever got to the point where we were saying, hey, what do you think? Or what's your perspective? And I have 8 or 9 theories, of course, but my prevailing, I think is the right word, my prevailing theory, and it's been for at least 2 weeks I've thought this, and I don't mean to victim shame or any of that stuff, and I hope I do it okay, but I think, I went on to their TikToks, all 4 of them, and as far as followers and viewers, it does go, Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. And Kaylee has, it's I like I said, I didn't get onto it immediately, and she has a lot of followers since her death. So I don't know how many she had at her death, but it's something 40,000 and over 1 million views and stuff. So I think it's a person that we've never mentioned. It's a person that we don't know of, and they were watching a TikTok. And again, I'm not victim shaming, but
no, that has nothing to do with victim shaming. You're right.
There are people that can be attracted to women pretty quickly with 1 or 2 videos that might be, they're not wearing winter coats. Let's just say they're not wearing winter coats during these streams. So anyway, I think it's someone that liked them and followed them, and then they became admirers, and then they became, infatuated. And so I think that's the main person, I think. And I mainly mention it, I have gotten a couple things to the police department, and they've responded, and I don't expect a personal response, but I got enough, I've done a little bit with them, not much. For the Boston bombing, I was sending things just about every day, at least every day, to the FBI, and they were good at getting back, and it was great. But I'm not doing that this time, and I wish I was. But anyway, I forget what I was talking about. But
Well, I tell you what, this is what I think. And I, of course, could be wrong. I think it's always funny when we say that because, of course, we could be wrong. But, okay, from the very beginning, there was just something about this case that reminded me of Ted Bundy and Gainesville and all of these other ones. And I've never really been one to consider an SK
right.
immediately, but I just got a feeling on this one. I think this person is a voyeur who, why would he show his face at the Grubhub truck when he can watch Twitch on his phone and watch them without being seen? He could follow them. There's a bunch of kids on campus. He could probably fit in with them. And I think he's like 25 to 35, somewhere in there, mainly more like 25 to 30, I think. And I think it would have been so easy. I think the reason the girls, Maddie and, Dylan and Bethany on the first floor, I think the reason they are still with us is because that's really a hard area to watch, and it's doesn't have as many windows and everything. But if you go back in the back, somebody could sit in that parking lot area and watch with their windows curtains were open. They could watch everything. They could tell what room what girl was in. They could pretty much tell the layout of the place. So I don't think they necessarily have to have been in there before either. They had lights on. Girls are notorious for, and the police officers, they left the lights on that the girls left on that night, and it was still fairly lit. You had that neon sign in the living room area.
Right, that corner.
I bet you anything that they had twinkle lights or fairy lights or whatever you want to call them as night lights in the bedroom. You want to make sure you can. Now, I might be weird, I don't know, but when I have to get up in the middle of the night, I don't turn on every light in the house on the way to the restroom.
Right. Just
I just walk there. So, but I do have some lights that kind of help guide me a little bit, so I don't necessarily think that it was extremely dark in here either. And I'm not sure who was the target, to be honest with you, but
who? Kaylee or Dylan?
Kids. I don't know which one.
Oh,
would
okay.
be the target. I have no feelings on that, to be honest. But
Okay.
I think this either is somebody who's new to this, like maybe they've done something before, but I kind of don't think so. I think this might have been their first time. They enjoyed every bit of it. And if Ellie doesn't catch them soon, I think that they will do this again. So I think there was plenty of opportunities to watch these girls without ever even having to really show your face. I don't even think, honestly, I don't think they're on the outskirts of the groups either. I think it's a budding SK or one that's done maybe one before. That's what I think. But I could be wrong.
That's funny when you said that's interesting. We say that all the time because, of course, we can be wrong.
Of course, it's like, really.
But I agree with so much of that. I think the person staked the house out and probably behind the house because it's darker and safer. And I firmly believe that it's his first time. But
have you looked at that place at night? That area at night?
Only like once the crime happened, there was 10 times as many lights. So it's kind of hard to, so yeah, I've seen a ton of video of the place, front, back, side, but now there's 20 lights instead of 2 lights.
Right. Before that, that was a really, really dark area. And one of the neighbors had said that's the reason they like it there is because it's nice and dark and, it's easier for them to sleep, which I understand that myself. But yeah, I mean, and then to have no curtains, and you have, even, let's say even it's a 5-watt bulb, okay? And they're sitting out in the parking lot, they can still see movement of people. It doesn't take that much light.
Right.
So I can't imagine how bright it was in that house whenever there were regular lights on in that place.
Right.
And it being so dark around there, it just accentuates the place more where they're looking.
Amen. Now, I love Brian Enton, and I hope to someday get permission from News Nation and or him to be able to use his videos, because I like both of them. News Nation is growing on me, but I want to do it. But anyway, Brian Enton, who's been at that house for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a long time, and he has been in back and described the back, and he said, but this was new to me, but I always thought it was super dark and anybody could hang out there for 4 hours. But he says it's really not that big of a patch. It's only several trees. It's only it's only a little bit. And when you see the overview, you're like, yeah, there's not many trees. But he was just saying, he was just guessing. I think he said, I don't think someone could hang out here for an hour or two without people knowing. Like just the people walking by and stuff. So,
well, in the dark, I think they could have, because there's plenty of trees out there. I was watching Grizzly Gisela. I was watching her, and her husband did an flyover. He's a pilot.
Yeah.
Not a pirate, a pilot. And so he did this aviation flyover with a small plane in a simulation and a drone.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you go watch that, there are a whole lot more trees than it appears to be. It's very wooded, and somebody could have walked through those woods. I mean, you can't see the houses behind them. You can see the houses to the side of them, but you can't really see the houses that are like on the next street over behind them.
Right.
I think there's plenty of room to hide out there.
And I basically agree with you. I would, I'd love to be there and see it myself, but I probably will try to check out that video you're talking about. But the first time I got to this case, I was like, that's where the perp hung out, is right there. There's a ton of trees. It's dark. Of course they hung out there. But I really appreciate Brian. I think he's honest. I think, and he was walking it. He was right next to the trees. And he says it's not real easy to hang out here for a long time. So anyway, I'm sure.
I'm not going to disparage anything he says, because he's there on foot. I'm just saying from what, and I trust his opinion very much. So I'm just saying, when you look from above, you wouldn't. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is it would be easy enough to people to walk in undercover through the area, say maybe 4 or 5 houses down on the other side of the road, and then walk in through some woods to get to the back of that house, and then just kind of hang out. But why would they have to go in the woods when they can just sit in that parking lot?
Yeah, good point. I mean,
but as far as an exit and an entrance and exit the night before, I think there would be plenty of cover for them to get there and get away. Not hang out maybe, but to get there and get away. I mean, who knows?
And I agree. And I didn't mean to make it sound like you were disparaging.
But, no. I just wanted to let you know, I do highly respect him as well.
Cool. And I love Grizzly. I've only seen her once or twice, but you can immediately tell that she's honest and sincere and all that stuff. I'm going to try to catch up on comments. Thank you for all your comments. I'm sorry I'm a bit behind, so I'm going to just try to plow through as many as I can, maybe 10 or so. So Muffy says, Jody, I know. Oh, well, that's relating to being Dylan. So anyway, Jody said, it upset me when people were personally attacking Dylan. My heart breaks for her. And then Muffy responded to that. Jody, I know. This is not moving. there. Jody, I know people are even saying that Dylan was I won't say that, but yeah, that is horrible. That is very disgusting. I agree with you, Muffy. People jump to, and then Jody, exactly, Lady V. Sorry, we're late on that. And then Jody says, I know, Muffy, I was disgusted by it. Nasty people. Yeah, they just started rumors, either from Reddit or 4chan, or they just made it up. She's taller and maybe slightly bigger, but yeah, they just immediately jumped to that, which is stupid. I mean,
yeah, because if she is, what does it matter unless she was the one targeted? It doesn't make a bit of difference.
And I don't want to, anyway, what I saw most people say, which they were jerks, absolutely, but they would say that it matters because they're saying the perp is male. So I think that's what they're trying to say. And again,
I hadn't seen that.
So that's why they're trying to say she was male, so she could do this because she's strong enough. But I think there's millions of women that are stronger than men and millions of men that are weaker than women. It's a stupid thing to say. So anyway, okay, Muffy, I think YouTube needs to crack down on creators that are throwing names out there with accusations and analyzing every single little thing on their social media. It's not okay. And I'm new to this. I totally agree, but I bet there's millions that do that every day. But I agree with you. Muffy, Jody, it's horrible. Dylan is beautiful, but you know what? Even if she's trans, who cares? It's not about that. It just makes me so angry that people think they can judge other people. And I know it's not a good idea for a male to mention the beauty of a woman. I know I only get in trouble with that. When there's 100 women in a stream and a woman comes in, all 100 of them can say, hey, beautiful. Hey, how you doing? Gorgeous. But it's not a good idea for men to do it. But I'm going to step out on that ledge anyway. I personally think Dylan is the most attractive out of all 6. That's just my opinion. So I know I'll stop there. So men can't say that. So Jody, thank you. We have a lot of motorcycle people here in Mildura. Oh, that's Australia. I've never heard of Mildura. Cool. Jody, exactly, Muffy. My favorite artist is Adora Delano. I don't care what people are. I don't know Adora, but I could guess. Okay, Dave. Sorry, Dave. I'm trying to catch up. Same here, Jody. I don't care if they're gay, bi, straight, trans. I just care if they're nice, good people. Amen. Muffy, Jody, exactly. We're all humans. And Jody, righto, Dave. I think that O is like Australian talk. Righto, Dave. Oh, right on. She corrected it to right on. Right on, Dave. And Dave says, yep. And Jody says, we are Muffy no matter what. Hopefully you'll know the context for that, Muffy. And as I always say, and I'm just giving you suggestions to communicate with me. It helps sometimes, especially when I get behind in comments, to give a little context to your comment. I just like to be able to connect with your comment. So don't worry about that if you don't want to do that. But just to give an extreme example, I could probably say, hey, what do you think about this? And then 20 seconds later, I would be getting answers and I'd read the answer and say, what did I just ask? So I usually need context, and that's kind of serious.
I do that too, Joe.
So, but anyway, so I'm sorry I didn't know the context about that comment. So Muffy, I have unsubscribed to 4 big channels because of accusations. I will not be a part of it. It's gross. Wow, Muffy. I don't want to talk political ever in this stream, but I am political and I'm pretty knowledgeable and I have strong opinions. But on Twitter, the reason I want followers is so that I can follow people. My numbers are too skewed, so I can't follow anyone, and I won't be able to follow anyone for 8 or 9 years. It'll be forever until I can follow someone. Anyway, you know that phrase of keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer? I follow everybody on Twitter. And again, politically, let's just talk generally. I follow both sides because I want to keep them closer. I want to hear what they're saying. So I'm not saying I'm going to stay subscribed to all the channels, it's along those same lines. I want to see what not to do when I stream. You know, it's kind of teaching me stuff. Anyway, and
Well,
Muffy said,
that's understandable, Joe. I agree, and I agree with Muffy. There's been some that I've put watching because um they're too clickbaity and too what's the word I'm trying to think of? Too out there. I'll just say too out there. And but that doesn't mean that I don't keep up on them every once in a while either, because it is good to know the other perspective. But if if it's a channel that's trash talking all the time and you're not really finding out anything about it, then I don't want to be part of that. If it's part of the uh, busybody true crime thing, I don't want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
that
If it's
makes
just
sense.
gossip and ragging on people, I don't want to go there.
Absolutely. And I'm always self-conscious about everything I do, but sometimes I get concerned about, oh, maybe they misinterpreted what I said and stuff. So Muffy, I want to make sure, I completely agree with you and I completely support what you're doing. I was just adding more stuff to it. I haven't seen a comment saying otherwise, but I'm like, no, everybody can have their opinion. And thank you, Muffy. I agree with you. Really, I agree. So Muffy, I think it's fine to look at people's public social media, but I don't think it's fine to pick it apart and turn them into a murderer. It's vicious. And again, I'm usually when I read a comment, it touches something in my brain, but it might not be that exact topic. And to get back to following all their TikToks and all their Instagrams, I'm trying to expand the possible suspects because, this is 40 days and we don't have anyone in custody yet. So they probably need more suspects. So that's that. Some of those videos are nice to watch and stuff, and I never critique them and stuff, but I'm doing it to expand the suspects.
Yeah, I don't think she's talking about you, Joe. I think she's talking about people in general where they're just so mean all the time. Just
And I didn't think she was talking to me. I just, like I said,
I wanted to make sure you didn't think she was, because Muffy's not that way anyway. But
I love Muffy. She knows I love
too.
her, but I
It's
love
sweetheart.
Muffy. Yeah, it's just that's the way my brain works. So yeah, I don't. Okay, amen, Muffy. I have also unsubbed to some. I don't like it. Still, I don't like it. I'm sorry, Jody. No reason at all for personal attacks. Amen. And I'm sorry, I can usually read typos, and I'm not sure what the STSIL is. I don't like it. Sorry, can't figure it out. But Muffy, Jody, no, there's no reason for personal attacks. They are ruining people's lives. And I think there's more than the two I've mentioned. But I think JS, hoodie guy, will never be able to get back a sliver of his life again. JD, same thing. He'll get a little more, but not much of a sliver of his life back. But I think it's true. I mean, I think it's too late for the two surviving roommates, housemates. I think it's too late. I think it has already very adversely affected their life, which is too bad. Amen. Muffy, no, that is not victim bashing, Joe. That is a fact. They both dress. Yeah, but Muffy, you're a female. You can say it. I can't. In fact, they both dress, all four. No, Ethan wasn't topless, but no one was topless. But yeah, you're right. In fact, they both dress very provocatively, Maddie and Kaylee. It's a fact. I know, but men can't say that. Thank you for saying that, Muffy. Jody Reason. I like your name, Jody. They are, and for what reason, really? Amen. To cut them down. People have to think before they speak. Words can cut deep. Amen.
Well, and too, Joe, one thing I like to mention every once in a while is, people need to stop and think in our community. We could be in that situation in 5 minutes from now. Do we really want to be treated like that? Why don't we can spend, I mean, if I was in that situation 5 minutes from now, I would expect people to go to my social media and all of that. I have no problem with that. It's it's when they start being cruel and accusing, and all of a sudden it's not allegedly, it's I think he is, and it's a defamation of character. And that's where the problem is, as far as I think. If people would remember that we could be in that same exact situation a couple of minutes from now, I think people might be a little more careful because they wouldn't want to be treated that way.
Amen. I agree. And as you all probably have noticed, and in most of my streams, I tend to gravitate toward the comments and then I kind of focus on them. And when I get behind, it generally is the format for the rest of the meeting, or the stream. So I hope no one really minds, but obviously, as you can tell, that has been the change. We've moved from the press conference to the comments. So So Muffy says, also, I am not victim shaming or bashing either, but I do think from watching Maddie and Kaylee's TikToks that they did think they were all that and a bag of chips, and maybe someone snapped over that. And again, if we could talk gender, it's pretty well known that men react to physical, stimulus. And, I don't want to talk about women, but, they're probably more touched to senses of humor and emotional, so I think a man can react more extremely to a TikTok than, so yeah, I that's my number one theory for sure. And we've never mentioned the name. No one has ever, no one has mentioned his name ever before he gets arrested. And a bag of chips that should have said, thank you, Muffy. And Dave, enough. Intense, Muffy, really intense. Wow, it's like something from a movie. It is, Dave, isn't it wild? And Dave, I know I love you being here, and I appreciate you kind of going into the flow because you're not here as a crime sleuther. So I really appreciate you being here and listening and responding, and do whatever you want. I mean, I love you being here, but I know that wasn't your initial passion. So, but yeah. Except it's real. Amen, Dave. Jody, I agree, Muffy. And Muffy, Dave, yeah, it's real. It's very creepy. At first, all I could think of was the Scream movies. It does seem like Hollywood, but it's not. I mean, that's horrible. So, Dave, sounds like those movies. I agree, Muffy. Oh, man. Dave travels in time. Creepy, creepy. Amen. Sorry if I did say amen all the time. I hope that doesn't offend any non-religious people. It's just I grew up with the word. Muffy Dragon Slayer. Dave, it's so scary and horrible. It is. Absolutely. Jody K. Here you go. This is for you, Lady V. Jody Reason. Did I say K? Jody Reason. I thought from beginning SK. Haven't changed yet. Also, I could be wrong. In my opinion, between 24 and 28. What do you think, Lady V?
I would agree with her on that. That's kind of the age too, that then when this psychopathy really kicks in for these people. I think he's one of these people that he doesn't. I don't think the man feels emotion. Okay, I think it's all about him. Just like Ted Bundy, they can act like it and all of that, but when it comes down to it, they really don't get upset about what they did or anything, except for how it could affect them. Because even a profiler said that whenever these SKs do this, they are paranoid and they are afraid they're going to be caught afterwards. So they're scared then. They're not scared when they walk in the house and do whatever they want to do. They're not scared then. They're scared afterwards because it affects them. And so I agree with her. That's pretty much the age range I'm thinking of as well.
Wow, cool. Thanks, Lady V. I was in a stream, I think it was earlier today, but my days are like blurring together. And one of the things I do, like many different functions as a chatter in a chat room. Like I always respond to the person talking, or at least the host talking. I don't usually respond to non-host people talking, but probably the most common thing I do is I see a comment and then respond to it, and then they respond to me, and then we have a conversation for a little bit. And so I think earlier today, there's a person that I kind of know from these streams, and I think they kind of know me. And so I responded. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And so they were talking about SK. I was talking about a first timer. And then at the end of it, we were both like, yeah, I agree with you. So I was like, are we going to transition to each other's perspective? So that was kind of funny. It's my second case. I know nothing about SKs. I'm not opposed to hearing more about that for sure.
I
Absolutely.
can be your source. I'm pretty good with them.
Well, cool.
They've always fascinated me. What their psychopathy and what's behind why they do what they do, and their life before this happened is so. I can be a decent reference on. I'm not an expert by any means, but
Cool. And as I, during some of my streams, some people in the panel would be talking about 20 minutes. No one could talk for 20 minutes in my stream, but let's just say they were talking for 10 or 15 minutes about previous cases. And I was like, man, my head is full. I can't hear about previous cases. Can we not do that? And, they're trying to refer to it in reference to this case, but then they, get a little off topic. But anyway.
well, if I do that, just let me know. I don't want to
Oh,
confuse you or anything.
Sally, you haven't, I'm not talking about you at all.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I definitely want to, and I know, like I said, when I read a comment, it jars something. And I bet 85% of the time, at least, I'm not addressing that comment. I'm not saying they think that and they said that about me, so it's weird how my mind works. But no,
Sure.
I'm sure if this keeps going, which I hope it does not, but if it keeps going, the SK certainly expands as a possibility. And Jody, for my guess of who it is, that's the age I think, or a little younger, probably 22 to 27 or something like that. So same thing. Now, Muffy says, Jody, I'm thinking SK too, but age around 35, 40. And then Muffy, I agreed, Lady V. I think it's just a matter of time before we hear about another situation exactly like this one. Amen, Lady V. That was a great point you made.
Well, I tell you why I think that they're younger is because I think that they can fit in with the college students around there. And if you're like 30 to 40 years old, once you reach about 35 to 40, it's going to be a little bit harder, I think, to mix in with people, like not be noticed, So that's one reason. I have several reasons, but that's one reason I think that they're younger. But, we could be wrong. This could be his second or third time around and he just hasn't been caught yet, Hard to say.
And I, I have similar thoughts to Lady V, and I can't remember what was said 20 minutes ago, but you roughly said something about, and if they're not caught, they'll do this again. So, I mean, with Muffy and your comments, the situation that I agree on is even, for me, it's a first time person, but even if he's a first time person, I think he realized that he's gotten away with it. And it's like, wow, that was easier than I thought. And maybe I can start doing it again. And so, yeah, I think
regardless, because I think they liked it.
Yeah.
I think they absolutely took pleasure in it. And the reason I say that is because of the intensity and the bodily fluids that have,
right.
That's a lot.
And yeah, I think they enjoyed it too. And I forget what I was going to say, but yeah, I definitely agree. And Jody says, LOL. I'm glad it was humorous. Jody Reason. Okay, Muffy. Interesting. Muffy, Jody, I have no idea though, really. And I have a different theory every day. Muffy, you're a rock star. You are so right. Muffy, here's theory. No, I haven't read it yet, Muffy. So I'm going to just guess it's theory number 42. Muffy, I personally think Xana was the most beautiful out of the bunch. She didn't wear a lot of makeup because she didn't need it. She was just naturally pretty. Amen. She's my number 2. Sorry. I need to not say that. Stephanie, at all, probably what she meant. Any guesses on the context there, Lady V?
Give me just a second.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Where are we?
Steph B at 412 said, at all, probably what she meant.
No, I really don't. I'm sorry, Steph.
I'm sorry, Steph. I'm a little off topic.
It's me. It's not you. I'm not feeling well, so I like a little spacey here.
Well, that's all right. That's fine. So yeah, Steph, I'm sorry. I like to connect with all comments, as you're probably noticing. And so I asked for context. And again, I'm not trying to tell people what to type, but it's always good to get context. Like at all, probably what she meant. Brittany, or what? I'm not Brittany. What's her name? Who's the tall one? 6'1" Bethany's housemate. Yeah. Anyway, I can't think. Dylan. So you would put context, and then we go, oh yeah, now I know what I said. But I'm sorry, Steph. Steph B. I love the name Steph. Jody Reason, off the subject, Joe. We have a lot of Speedways riders come from here. Crumpy, I can't remember at the moment, had world champs. Amen. I can talk about motorsports forever. I think the most famous person, at least from this side of the pond, that's not really the pond, but on this side of the world, the most famous Australian driver, and I hope I remember his name, is Marcus Ambrose. He came over to NASCAR. He did it for about 3, 4, 5 years. He was married. He had a couple kids. He won one race, and he was like, man, this is tougher than I wanted. And he says, I want to see my wife and kids, so I'm moving back. But he was definitely the most famous, a rock star. I talked to him. I loved his accent. I loved him. He was great. I interviewed him. And there's thousands. The twin, no, they're from, anyway, yeah, there's a bunch from Australia. Love, and New Zealand. I think, and again, this is off topic with motorsports, but IndyCar, the champ that has won 3 times, Scott Dixon, I think, is from New Zealand. Come on. How do we get the best driver in the world from New Zealand? That blows me away. 3 times he was the best in the world. 3 times. Anyway, thank you, Jody. As you can tell, it's not off subject because I'll talk about it. Dave travels in time. You're good, Joe. I'm cool with the amen word. Amen. Thanks, Dave. And Valerie Valara. Sorry, I missed you when you came in. Hi, Valerie Valara. And I think I keep asking you how to pronounce that, but I think it's Valara. I like your name. Okay, I'm very lost. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hi, Valara. Muffy, Joe, I'm Catholic and spend most of my days saying amen and Hail Mary. I don't mean to laugh, but you have LOL. I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest of 9. My parents were pretty strict Catholics. I went to Catholic grade school, high school, and then I got it sober when I was 25, and I started calling myself, don't hate me, I started calling myself a recovering Catholic. At an AA meeting, that's really funny to say. When you say it, everybody laughs.
I get that.
So anyway, Muffy, I'm right there. Thank you. So Valara, hey, Lady V. Thanks, Valara. And Muffy, hey, Valerie. And Valerie Valara. I'm going to figure out what to call you. I think I'll just say Valara, but I'm not sure.
Because I love her name. I think you're right. I think that's exactly what it says, and I love that name too.
And she said hi to you, so that was really cool too.
She's a sweetie, I think.
So Valara, hi Muffy Dragon Slayer. And Muffy, I don't think SKs really care if they're noticed, just in my opinion.
And I agree with that. I totally agree with you on that, Muffy. I'm just thinking if they're being a voyeur, and it could be totally wrong. I don't know what a campus looks like anymore in the way of ages and all of that. So, I mean, maybe they could fit in there. Maybe they could pass for a teacher or a teacher's aide or something. Yeah, that's a good thought, Muffy. I
wow.
agree with you.
And yeah, I didn't notice, Lady V, you already answered to her. You said, I agree, Muffy. It was just a thought. So, yeah, like I don't know enough about crime sleuthing to know who is a high candidate for you know that word of taking one's own life. You know, I don't know who's a high candidate of that by cops, but I think the person either thought they were going to get caught or they were going to be eliminated, and they're like, wow, 40 days later and I'm not caught, let's do another one. So yeah, I don't know who's the high candidate for being taken out by the cops. Do y'all know the word I'm saying? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Valera, feeling emboldened too with getting away with this thus far. Can you believe it, Valera?
Most definitely.
40 days. Oh my goodness. Lady V, I agree, Muffy. It was just a thought. And we all have thoughts. We can all have their opinion. Everybody. Lady V, absolutely Valera. She typed Valerie, but I said Valera. Muffy, this won't move. Is it the last comment? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Muffy, Lady V, I know this is weird, but it has crossed my mind that it could be someone's parent. And then her next comment is Dylan. I don't know if she means Dylan's parent or if she means one of the victim's parent. I've heard that. I would not think that, but within 48 hours and within a week and within 2 weeks, we only think of the normal people. But now that we're at week 5 and week 6, we start thinking of people outside of the box. So I understand why people would think that. And it's entirely possible. I mean, I wouldn't really even address the comment, but I would say, they would just take out one person if someone's parent wanted to do it. But how about you, Lady V? Any idea?
I don't think it's Kaylee's father. I don't know enough about the other ones, but I mean, I can see what Muffy's referring to. And in this day and age, who on earth knows? I mean, you could just flash your car lights at somebody and then you're in big trouble. You know what I mean? It's like, who knows how people are nowadays. But I personally don't think that it's any of the parents. I have wondered maybe about Dylan's boyfriend, but he's been cleared because he was in Boise, and it's been proven, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, there's always people to think of. And I'm sorry, Muffy. Now I know your context for the next thing. You said Dylan, and I think that was back when I was saying, I forget her name. What name is it? So I think you were saying Dylan to me. So thank you for reminding me instead of saying that's the parent you're thinking of. But I know. Again, I'm very sympathetic to addicts and alcoholics that are still suffering. I'm very sympathetic to them. And I know Xana's mother got a lot of trash, and she was.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
So and people
she
would
just
think
lost her daughter, for goodness sakes. I mean, like, we're going to pile more garbage on top of her when she's feeling the worst she's ever felt in her life.
I know, that is horrible. Lady V, I've heard, I think that's heard. I've heard that. I need to hear the reasoning behind that. Can you elaborate? Are you talking about the parents' comment?
Yes.
Yeah, Muffy, I'd love to hear what you say. Valera, that's it, Joe. Bastardization of the Happy Wanderer song. I assume you're referring to your name. And when I say Valera, it kind of sparks something in my head like a song, but I'm not really aware of the Happy Wanderer song. So thank you for letting me know. Do you know that song?
Yeah. Valerie, Valera, Valerie, Valera, Valerie. I think it's the one she's talking about.
That's a wonderful Happy Wanderer song. Valera, that's so cute. I like your name. Not cute. That's not a good word. I think that's very nice. Muffy, Dragon Slayer. Lady V, again, just a thought, and I'm just speculating, but I did hear that Kelly and Maddie were known for being mean girls. Maybe they bullied someone. And yeah, you mean Kylie. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to say it. Kaylee, yes. Kaylee and Maddie.
You need to hurry and get down to the bottom. Muffy just said something really cool.
Muffy, oh Lord, no, guys, please, you're totally misunderstanding me. I don't mean any of the victims' parents or the roommates' parents. I mean a parent of someone they went to school with, lived
Oh,
with.
yeah, that could be.
Now,
I understand that thought more than the other, to be honest.
and Muffy says, I don't point fingers or accuse anyone. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that in your mouth. I can kind of think who you might be referring to. And I always like to say, I in every stream, when this one person's name is mentioned, I immediately pounce on the person. And when they mention the one female that did away with her own life, and it was thought that Maddie might have been responsible for it. I am, and again, I'm not saying you are referring to her, but that student's father made a statement, and she said,
Oh, I really did miss a lot. I was trying to follow what you were saying. I'm like, I haven't heard that. Okay, that makes more sense. Even that. Okay, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry. I was just like, it got an epiphany. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, I get it.
yeah, and I'm not going to say her name, and I'm not going to say her initial, but the father said, I know, he said, I don't want people to mention my daughter's name, and I don't want people to connect my daughter's name to this case. And I completely think we need to honor the father. I think that's a reasonable request.
Yeah,
So,
I know who you're talking about now.
but he did make that. And again, Muffy, I'm not saying that you said that. I'm so sorry. Let me try to catch up so I can be. So Muffy, Lady V, just pure intuition and speculation. Valerie, Valera, my dad used to sing it to me all the time to annoy you. Oh, to annoy me. LOL. My name is actually Valerie, but call me what you like. Aw, thanks, Valerie. Lady, I could see that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, the Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Muffy. Is that what you're referring to, Lady V?
Yes.
Okay. If I could go, if I could talk about it. And again, I have to dance lightly because I'm a male for one thing, and it could be misperceived as victim shaming. But I watched a fair amount of videos from all four people, and especially the three women, and especially the two blondes, and especially Kaylee. And certainly if you go over to one of their accounts, they have the hashtag Mean Girls. They had it on their video. Now that video was a skit. They were playing other people. I thought it was in Mean Girls, the movie, but someone else mentioned another movie. So I might be wrong on that, but I thought it was part of Mean Girls. So they were doing a skit. That was not, but they still used the hashtag. They did use that hashtag. Now, whether there was a hashtag or not, when I watched, and again, I'm hypersensitive. I can cry in a second, and I can melt because someone gave me negative feedback. I'm just, I'm a mess empathetically. So even if there wasn't a hashtag, when I watched many videos, when you go over there now, there's only like 9 videos. 3 weeks ago, there was a lot more videos. So someone either restricted them or deleted them. Something happened to them. So I watched a fair amount. And since I'm hypersensitive, I would say, boy, that wasn't an especially nice thing to say. So I don't want to victim shame. I don't want to say they are mean girls, but they, earlier someone said they feel like they're a bag of chips and all that. And so it can, anyway, I'll stop there. What about you, Lady V?
I agree with you.
Thank God a female said it. Oh. But anyway, okay, cool. I hope that.
Are you talking about the video where the girls are playing each other?
No, but I think that is the most revealing video of all of them. No, I'm talking about because they're mean to each other. They're saying really, you get a snapshot of each personality. I'm like, wow, that's my friend.
Yeah, you get a snapshot of what that person thinks about the other roommate. I found that extremely interesting.
Yes, I think that was the most revealing of all of them, which I think is still over there. No, I'm talking about they're in Elf, They all were wearing a red hat and red tops and
Oh,
like
okay.
real sexy elf outfits. I don't know what kind of outfits.
Wasn't that Halloween?
It probably was, but it was a skit. I thought I've seen Mean Girls, the movie, 5 or 7 times, but a movie I saw a week ago, I forgot half of it. But I'm pretty sure that was part of the movie. So I think they were doing the movie.
I think you're right. I think I've heard quite a few people say that.
So anyway, enough about them. I don't want to rag on them. And then Lady V said, I can see that. So let me get caught back up here. Muffy says, Lady V, it's definitely a possibility, in my opinion. Again, I assume you're talking about the Mean Girls. I agree. Muffy, Valerie, that's so cute. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and it's so cute that you didn't like your dad doing it. But I think dads' jobs are to embarrass their kids. I think so. I don't know. Valerie, hello. Valerie Miller, hello. Joe Hart here. Thank you for being here. I've seen you in a lot of streams. I've loved your comment.
Can I say something to her real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Valerie, you are a rockin' mod. I tell you what, I was watching T-Rev. That girl got it. Talk about a rock star. Woo! This girl is a rock star, man.
Sweet. Valerie Miller, I guess you probably know me originally from that stream since I was the guest host for like 7 days out of 2 weeks. But I didn't necessarily notice what Lady V is talking about, but I believe her completely. So that's so cool. So yeah, Muffy. Anyway, I'm sorry. I've been scolded in the past by no one in the stream right now. I've been scolded in the past for reading a comment more than once. But Muffy, I just want to reconnect with this one because I think I was No, I'm sorry. I did say this. So you're absolutely correct that I did say that. So Muffy, no, I didn't mean Dylan's parents. I was responding to you wondering who was the tall one. Joe, LOL, I'm cooking and listening. So maybe I got a little behind in chat. No problem, Muffy. I love you being here. And do you do that audibly? Are you speaking? Do you type it as you're cooking or are you talking? That's wild. Audio just blows me away that you can do that. So Muffy, Valerie Miller, hello and welcome. And Valerie Valera says, hey, Valerie Miller, maybe we can get the third Valerie in here. No, there's more than 3 Valeries. So Muffy Dragon Slayer. Oh, Lord, no, guys. Please, you're totally misunderstanding me. I don't mean any of the victims' parents, other roommates' parents. I mean a parent of someone that went to school with lived you. And I'm sure you didn't even refer to the woman that I talked about a few minutes ago. So don't mind me. I'm just doing a stream and I get reminded of things and I just talk about them. Muffy, I don't point fingers or accuse anyone. I understand. Muffy, I just basically saying maybe it's a parent that committed this murder. Maybe someone's parent that was bullied by Maddie and Kaylee. Just a thought. Now, that does sound like the woman I was addressing. But yeah, I think until they have a suspect, an arrest, and almost a conviction. No. Until we get until we get a perp in custody, all options are on the table. So I think it's, I think they're all. So I do not know if it's true, but I've heard on several platforms that Kaylee and Maddie were mean girls, especially Maddie. I don't know if it's true. It's pure rumor and speculation. Amen. And, I've known people that in the past, they're like, boy, you just seem so unapproachable. You're just not nice. And they're like, I'm just shy. I don't mean to give that signal off. I'm just shy, so it could be misperceptions, but I think you're pretty close. Muffy, oh, sorry, I meant Kaylee. I can usually read typos, but thank you for correcting it. Muffy, no, I'm not referring to anybody in particular. I mean, just in general, if they're bullied someone or if Maddie did. And obviously, if anybody is in that behavior of bullying people, they're not going to just bully one. You're right. I mean, it would be other multiple people. So, and Muffy says, yes, they did have that hashtag, Joe. And the Black Christmas thing is weird too. Wowzers. Okay, that's the other movie that I've heard people mention.
That's the one I was trying to think of.
So I thought it was in Mean Girls, but I've heard people say it's in Black Christmas. So I might have the wrong movie. I apologize.
Yeah, I think it's Black Christmas.
I've never seen that movie.
When you get caught up with your, when you get caught up with the comments,
That's the
I
last
want to
one.
ask a weird question.
That's the last comment. And thank you, everybody, for all your comments. Sorry, I was a little behind, and now I'm caught up. So yes, Lady V.
Okay, I don't know exactly how to put this because I don't care one way or the other if they are. But does anybody else find the way her and Maddie takes pictures and stuff does that like is that normal at that age now? Or I mean, they're always like really. I've kind of wondered if the two of them didn't have a thing, to be honest.
Like I said, I'm a male.
Which I don't care. I'm just thinking.
I certainly have thought that many times. They tend to be stomach to stomach really close.
Yeah, or one kissing the other, which I'm a girl and we do that, but not quite like that.
Now, I'm pretty open and about all that stuff. So I guess I would. I mean, even though I'm saying I'm going to let all the women answer instead of me, but I would say I think it would. And again, as a non-female, I can't really. But I would think these days, or how they've been close since 6th grade, or I think. If you're attracted to one, you're attracted to two. If you're rejected by one, you're rejected by two. I think they're just the same person almost.
Yeah, and Valerie, I'm not saying like the taking a lot of pictures. I'm saying the way they pose when they're taking pictures. And if there is, I don't care because I'm open with all of that. I've just been wanting to ask this question, like, does anybody else think it's a little strange, or is it just me?
And I noticed it for sure. And it might be a generational thing. You and I are probably fairly close in age. But I would probably guess, as I'm not a college student now, and I'm not a female, and whatever, but I would bet that they've been close for so long that they could have a relationship on just about every different level.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
and
I mean,
still
they're
and
definitely comfortable with each other. And I
and
wish
they
I
would
hadn't asked it now.
Oh no, that's all right. I think it's fine. But yeah, I would say they would on every level, and I even mean the final level, that they would just still consider themselves friends, and they would consider themselves heterosexual, and they would consider themselves, hey, let's go date. Don't you think he's cute? Don't you think he's cute? And they, I think,
yeah, no, I get
think
all
it
of
wouldn't
that.
even affect them, but that's my guess. Okay. So Muffy said, yup, I'm typing and cooking. Muffy, I don't know. It would take me 4 hours to count that, type that. I'm so slow. So Valerie, it is my daughter. My daughter is 22, not neurotypical. I'm a big advocate, but she takes a lot of pictures. Amen. There's a lot of pictures. And then
Okay.
you corrected it to neurotypical. I would have probably guessed what you meant. And I think sexuality is pretty fluid nowadays. And I agree. And I think especially for two, I mean,
oh, I totally agree with that.
It's probably a little more acceptable with 2 females than 2 males, but I don't know why. But they knew each other since 6th grade.
Right.
They were they weren't developed yet. I mean, they did the whole thing. So
right. And please don't misunderstand me. I was not in any way judging or criticizing or anything. I just had a question in my mind because, I am 60 years old. So
yes, I'm 62.
Haven't really been around people like that for like 40 years as far as, out in public or how they do things on their social media nowadays is what I'm trying to say.
And I did not
badly.
Anyway, I didn't mean to make it sound like that. Yeah, I mean, I love the question. I'm glad we're talking about it. And anyway.
But the reason I ask is because I'm wondering if maybe that might have been kind of turn on for the voyeur, is what I'm saying.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You know, that's the only reason I really bring it up. So
And it,
anyway, if I offended anybody, please forgive me. I did not mean to. I just think it might be relevant.
Hi, Jazzy Wazzy. And yeah, I mean, I think it could affect every level. I mean, and I'm not, anyway, just to refer to the video of the two women and hoodie guy walking from the bar to the food truck, and they're on that video. And, you know, I didn't clearly hear any word, but I think that most people agreed on what they heard, but it was along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, you know, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And she said everything. So, I mean, that could be one of the,
Right. Exactly.
that could have been
That's
one of the
exactly.
details.
Yeah, that's exactly what sparked that thought, Joe.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
exactly right.
I mean, a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend, I mean, that could certainly rub them the wrong way. So, so Muffy, Joe, my boyfriend loves listening to you. He thinks you're amazing. Oh, I am humbled. Thank you, Muffy and boyfriend. You're
I
welcome.
don't think. Oh, sorry, Joe.
You're welcome to name them, but it is the open internet, so you don't have to name them. I'll just say thank you, Muffy's boyfriend, and I appreciate it. What were you going to say, Lady V?
I was just going to say, I don't think it was a negative thing. I think that it might have been a turn on for this guy to think that. You know what I'm saying? It might have even added more to his fantasy, this voyeur, if that's indeed what it is.
And I haven't yet applied it to who the perp might be, but just in the entire world, you get all opinions. So you would get someone that would be not turned on, really pissed off, and some would be really turned on and real, you know, so you get the whole range. As far as a perp goes, yeah, it would probably go more toward it being a turn on for sure, which, you know, would expand, you know, we want to find a perp. So that would, you know, there's OCD people there, you know, there's definitely, you know, there's, I don't like the
You
word
want to know
stuff.
what else makes me think that is because even in death, their family doesn't want to separate the two of them. I mean, being a sister and being all of that, I completely understand all of that, but I think their relationship was way stronger than just being a sister. I have wondered if maybe Maddie wouldn't have followed her to Texas and tried to get a job because they're that close, and there's nothing wrong with them being that close. I mean, nothing may not have even been going on between the two of them, but nowadays it's like no big deal for them to well, nowadays, even back in our day, it was no big deal for people to experiment and things like that. I just think that they really had such a hugely strong emotional relationship that it kind of went beyond just sisters, is what I wish I had a relationship where I felt that, you know, where when I die, my person would want to have the other person close to me, even in death and ashes, because they don't want us apart.
Yeah, I mean, I agree so much. And I always forget to ask people that are in my panel. Sometimes panelists, I've been in panels, but I don't always remember. So I think sometimes you can see the comments and sometimes you don't see the comments. So let me know if you do see the comments, Lady V.
Right this moment, I don't. I'm having a cigarette, but I will be in a minute.
Okay, so Muffy Dragon Slayer said this at 4:48, which is 5 minutes ago. She said, "Oh, Lady V, I have said, yeah, I think she means said, I have said in a million streams, I think they were in a relationship, 100%. So she was right there with you. Or, I'm sorry, I'm not putting words in your mouth. She connected with what you brought up. Jazzy Wazzy. Hey, Jazzy Wazzy. I'm not sure if I recall you from any stream, but thank you for being here. Most of my initial subscribers was from another stream that I was a guest host from. So feel free to let me know if you know me from that other stream. I go from knowing you 0% to knowing you 20% just by mentioning that stream. So Jazzy Wazzy, Valerie, your daughter is the same age as me. Wow, cool. 22, I guess, I think. So Muffy, don't burn the meal, by the way. You're typing so much. How's your boyfriend? Is he doing all right? Does he help? Is he cooking also? So Muffy, oh, Lady V, I agree with you 100%. Is this the same person? Let's see here.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Muffy. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I didn't read it, so I guess she typed it again. So, oh, Lady V, I agree with you 100%. I've said it in a million streams. I think they were in a relationship. Amen. Valerie, I am 51. All us old folks that think that, no, I'm not saying 51's old. It's not old to me.
No.
Muffy, what?
I was saying no. I was just thinking to be 51 again. That would be great.
Oh, if only I could be 31. Yeah. It's,
I know what I know now.
yeah, no kidding. So Muffy, Dragon Slayer, and boyfriend. Maddie and Kaylee's pictures were not normal for friends. No way, sorry, but no way, in my opinion. Now, I probably wouldn't go that far. I would say there's, and you're welcome to your opinion, and I don't mean to be responsible, but I wouldn't go that far. I think I think it's entirely possible in the realm of life that, and I'm a numbers guy, so I like to throw numbers, but I would say 30% or 40% or 50% of two females that have that tight relationship is not physical at all. So I think it's entirely possible to be friends only. But
and I agree with her statement there.
Oh, so you're saying absolutely not? No way. Sorry, but no way.
Yeah, I agree with her.
Okay, cool. There you go, Muffy.
Not that that means anything. I'm just saying I instead of typing it, I'm just saying I agree with you, Muffin Slayer.
Cool. And Valerie, and my son is 10. I guess I had the 22 age as incorrect. Oh, you're 51. Okay, yeah. Someone,
my reading is she has a daughter. Her
Jazzy's 22. Sorry, I mixed up the two. Right. Okay. So, we'll say hi to your son, Valerie. Muffy, Lady V, I think in my opinion that Kaylee's parents were aware they were in a relationship.
I agree.
I would probably say that's probably true. I mean, they seem like, every parent thinks their child shares more with them than actually happens, but it seems like,
right. But I think Maddie, I agree with her. I think Maddie and Kaylee's parents both knew that there was something more special between the two of them.
I agree. So just think of how Kaylee's family speaks about Maddie. It's like they were a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Muffy, my boyfriend's name is Jack. Another Jack. Oh my goodness. We have to give.
Oh man.
Please
What's
don't
his
share.
last name start with?
Right. I was going to just ask that, but don't divulge that information. But we'll have to give him a last name initial. We'll do M for Muffy. So Jack M. He'll be Jack M for Muffy.
Sounds good.
And Jazzy Wazzy, hey y'all. Good to see ya. And Jazzy Wazzy, nice to meet y'all. And Muffy says, hi, Jazzy. And Jazzy says, hey, ya Muffy. Yeah, Muffy is a rock star for sure.
Yes.
What case is this so I can look it up? This is the, oh yeah, you probably already have answers from my mods that are superstars. Thank you. So yeah, it's the Idaho 4, the horrendous, gruesome murder of 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho, where University of Idaho was. And it happened 40 days ago, November 13th, Sunday between 3 and 4 in the morning, which I think I thought they adjusted that time, but I guess I was wrong. So I think it's still 3 to 4 in the morning. And I hope that gives you enough information, Jazzy. Feel free to ask questions, and my mods, of course, will answer your questions. Jazzy, I found you randomly. Well, welcome. It's good to see you. Muffy, Jazzy, Idaho 4 murders. Yeah, you can do hashtag Idaho 4. And on most platforms, you'll get plenty of information. Jazzy Wazzy. Okay, thanks, Muffy. Yeah, thanks, Muffy. And you're doing that while you're cooking. I can't multitask. Either the food would burn or I wouldn't be talking to anybody in the stream. So I couldn't do both. Muffy, Jazzy, you're welcome. And Jazzy has an emoji. I think it's a smiley thing. I can't really read those things. Muffy, Joe, their pictures were so sexual in nature. You can almost feel the chemistry between them. Just look.
Okay, so I'm not wrong. Okay.
Muffy, can we stop? No, you can write whatever you want.
Yeah, it makes me nervous too. They even asked that question, made me nervous, but
yeah,
I think, you know, it's like the elephant in the room.
Hey, and yeah, I mean, and it could be part of the case. Again, it might
not be. I
you know,
think it's really sweet that they had such a wonderful relationship. And apparently it was like so strong, and that's wonderful. And so please, no, I don't mean anything bad. I was just curious if I was the only one that thought that.
No, I observed it the first picture, and then 25 pictures after that. So yeah, I mean, I observed it for sure. Men just can't say it, but I use it to figure out my own theories for sure. Jazzy Wazzy, yeah, I'm 22. Yeah, I put your age on someone else incorrectly. I was like 10-year-old kid, 22 years old, which is possible, but yeah. So that's why.
Wazzy's beautiful too, by the way. I can say that. And so is Muffy from what I can see. But yeah, Jazzy, your picture is gorgeous.
And since I'm a male, I'll just agree. I agree with what she said. I didn't say it. I agree with what she said. Muffy, my Jack is Jack N. Oh my goodness, so many Jacks. Lady V, nice to have you with us, Jazzy. Amen. And Muffy, off topic, but I just have to say, Lady V, you are so pretty.
Oh.
I have never seen your avatar that big. Since there's only 2 of you on the stream, I can see it better tonight. She's a gorgeous.
Well, I don't look like that right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't look like that right this second, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You're a sweetheart.
Yes, that was very nice. And I don't know if you're talking about like my picture in Facebook and I can't import things very well. So once I figured out how to import a picture, I never change it. So my Facebook is like 8 years old and people are like, wow, you used to not have a beard. And I'm like, yeah, well, of course. But anyway, Jazzy, thanks, Lady V. And Jazzy, oh, thank you. I get told I look like Mom a lot. Mom, are you from the UK? You look like my mom a lot. But Mom, isn't that UK? Oh, thank you. I get told I look like my mom a lot. Cool. It's good that, So it looks like I'm caught up. Did you have another question you wanted to ask, Lady V?
No, I just I've enjoyed our chat here with the chats that's coming in the chat room. And
sure.
She's from England. Yeah. Did you read that last one?
Yeah, sorry, Jazzy. I didn't, I probably ought not make stereotypes or assume things, but
yeah, but she says she is.
Yeah, but it's probably not something I need to do. I could probably say, "Oh, where are you from?" or whatever. But yeah. So Jazzy Wazzy, yes, I'm from England. Cool.
Hey, Jazzy, I want you to know I love the name Jazzy. My little Yorkie, she's my service animal, and her name's Tali Giselle. Tali is Hebrew for God's gift. And I wanted Giselle in there too because I call her Tali Jazz a lot because I just love the name Jazz and Jazzy. It's cute. It's adorable.
That's cute. So sometimes when I get off topic with motorsports, people are like, "What are you talking about?" So this is just a shot in the dark, Jazzy Wazzy. I don't know if you follow motorsports or if you follow Formula One. I've never been to England. I've been to Europe, but not England. And if you happen to follow Formula One, which I don't assume you do, there's 10 teams, 20 drivers, and 8 or 9 of the teams. 8 or 9 of the 10 teams are out of England. So I don't know if you know the one closest to you. I'd love to hear the closest Formula One team to you without giving away. I don't want your coordinates, but if you happen to know coming, it'd be cool to hear what you know about them. So that's my motorsports. Muffy, this has been great. Amen. Thanks, Muffy. You're a superstar. Muffy, such a fun live. I couldn't have done it with it. And now I don't know if we're ending, but I couldn't have done it without Lady V for sure.
Oh, you could have.
Yeah, but
thank you.
I think I consider myself a little rough around the edges. Like when I first originally started to go into motorsports events, and I could talk for hours, but I mostly went as a disabled person, and I went as an advocate, and I wanted to build awareness, and I wanted to booth, and I wanted to just build awareness. And so I would get these booths for free because I had no money, and I would bring my service animal, and a cat. It's a cat because I want a service animal so I can be more of a jerk about the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. I can push the envelope a little more when I have
I get that.
animal instead of a service animal. A dog would be so much easier. Anyway, I would go, and I considered myself a little rough around the edges, and I think most people do consider that. But I brought my cat, so I'd put the cat on the table, and bam, I had 1 billion people at my table. And then I could be nicer and I could say hello and do a lot better. So not that you're a cat, Lady V.
I'm your cat.
No, no, I didn't mean that. But anyway,
I think it's funny. I think
think with my rough around the edges, it's always good to have that other energy.
Yes,
So
I understand what you're saying. I think it's cute. So I'm just call me Kitty.
No. So Jazzy, I call myself Jazzy Wazzy because people call me it as a nickname. I like the nickname.
Yeah, she said it's her real name too.
Wait, sorry. Could you say that question again? I got distracted, texted, and didn't hear. And I know it's my stream, but I don't like to get off topic. So Jazzy, I'm really into motorsports. I'm really into Formula One a lot. I don't know if you're aware of Formula One, but there's 10 teams and 20 drivers. 10 teams, 20 drivers, 2 each. So 8 or 9 of the 10 drivers are out of England. And I think they're suburbs of London even. I think 7 are suburbs of London. Again, don't give your coordinates, but do you happen to know the closest not closest, but the Formula One team that you're aware of? So that was the question. So I always ask people when I see them from UK. And so Muffy, my real name is Reese. I get called Reese's Pieces. Amen. Valerie Valera, I'm a cat lady. Yeah, I as you can tell, I can't multitask. So I've only owned 1 cat at a time. I went to treatment, got sober, started out. So I got a cat. So I've had 5 cats in 36 years. I don't want to get a service animal because really I do want to be a jerk about the Americans with Disabilities Act, or an advocate is really what the word is. But I don't think I'm responsible enough for a dog either. So I think cats are a little cooler. But yeah, I'm a cat man.
Well, if you're a cat person, you're not all bad.
Yeah, man. See, my cat can vouch for me. See, my cat. So my nickname, coincidentally, is V. Lady V.
That's cute.
Yeah, Valera. That's so cool. Lady V, I like that. I love that, Muffy.
I do too.
What did Muffy say?
That her name was Reese, and she's get called Reese's Pieces. I think that's adorable.
That's so cute. I like that. So to be honest, I don't know anything about motorsports. Yeah, that's what most people say. So thanks. Muffy, Lady V. Wait, I'm sorry. I flew over that. So, I might have clicked something. Did anything happen? Muffy, I hope I didn't click. I got really close to those 2 dots. I don't think I hit them. So you won't be able to let me know, but let me know if I did anything to you, Muffy.
Oh no.
It was unintentional.
Easy to do.
So Muffy, and it's Lady V, and then a bunch of, I don't know what the icons say.
Hearts and smiley faces.
So Jazzy Wazzy says, I have 2 dogs. Cool. I love doggies. And Jazzy Wazzy says, one of my dogs is my boyfriend's, and my other is my dog called Miko. I've had my dog since I was 15.
Oh, that's cool. We have one dog that thinks she's a human being daughter, And we have 4 cats that think they are 2 males and 2 females, and they think they own the house.
I think they do. I think you're there just as a guest.
That's a cat. You know, I mean, you come home from work, your dog's all like, hey, hi, I'm happy to see you happy. And your cat looks at you like, you're home.
Now, let me, oh, good. Okay. I got really close to those 2 dots. Sorry about that, Muffy. So Muffy, I have a pit bull named Ava. I'm going to try to catch up on comments. Currently there's 3, and then I'm going to do a test. I've done it before, but I didn't write down the results. So I'm going to try to do a test with everybody if everybody is okay with that. So Muffy, I have a pit bull named Ava, I think, and a Himalayan cat named Chanel. I don't know that. Is it Chanel?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Ava, yes.
Cool. Muffy, nope, Joe, you can't get rid of me that easy. No, I usually click on the left side of the comment, so I'm nowhere near the 2 dots, but that time I got really close. So Valerie, yes, they do. Amen. Okay, so I'm caught up on comments just to educate you a bit about how my mind works and what I think about and what I perseverate about. I would love to learn more about the delay in this stream.
Wow.
I stream. I have 6 destinations, 6 streams, and after the stream, when I click on them, they say, by the way, there could be a delay of up to 10 seconds. And it says that for all 6. So I could have a delay to 60 seconds. So I probably should give you the assignment because I need to. Anyway, if anybody and everybody, if all of y'all can help, none of y'all have to, but if you can help, what I would like you to do, if you could pre-write a comment, it can be anything, but I would prefer it just to be short. Just put the number 1 in, but pre-write your comment. Pre-write anything you want. Just pre-write a comment and just put it in your comment. Just pre-write it. And then when I don't do it right now, but what I will do is I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And then when I say go, immediately hit enter. If you don't mind, I'm a little neurotic, I know. So you would hit enter, and then I will start counting. I actually have last time I counted alive, and people are like, what the hell are you doing? So I have a thing. So it can, last time one person was 1 minute and 15 seconds. So,
Wow.
yeah, 60 seconds is almost another conversation. So anyway, I don't know if anybody understood the thing. So you put a comment in, but don't hit enter. And really, it can just be a 1 or a 2, or you can write 700 characters, but have it pre-typed. So I hope you are ready because I gave you enough thing. So put in anything as a comment, but don't hit it yet. So this time the count will be real.
Y'all ready?
As you heard, I'm going to say that number and that number and that number, and then the word opposite of stop. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you all ready? Sorry. Thank you for indulging my neuroses. 3, 2, 1, go. So I think one person. Oh, Lady V, that was great. That's 5 or 6 seconds. Valera, 10 seconds. Wow. Are the others 60 seconds? Oh, that's horrible. And I don't expect everyone to do it, but so yeah, that's a good test. I did not expect. I'm still looking for a number 1, but especially Muffy, where's your number? So anyway, wait, sorry, I didn't know what was going on. That's fine, Jazzy Wazzy. I got 2 people to test it. I'm hoping I get 1 more Jazzy. Oh no, you're doing it late, Jazzy Wazzy. That won't happen. But that was 50 seconds for Jazzy Wazzy. So Muffy, I don't know what's happening. That's all right, Muffy. So that's okay. So if that was a typical, so the test is over. Thank you very much for everybody involved. Thank you, Lady V. Thank you, Valera. You both put in 1s, which you could have typed anything. And Jack's panicking. It's okay, Muffy. It's okay that you all missed it. That's funny. I like that. So if that was a typical test, then that means my up to 60-second delay is really 5 to 10 seconds, which is phenomenal. Because I was like, man, I have to drop some of those streams off if it's going to be 60 seconds. So anyway, I'm done with the test. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's also to let you know that it's probably 5 to 10 seconds, which is probably typical if I was streaming to one stream. So anyway, that's it. I know this is, yeah, anyway, we could. So I'm going to do more comments, and then you just we can get toward the end if we want. That's okay with me. So Jazzy Wazzy, when I was 15, I got a job and bought my dog myself. He was 1,250 Great Britain pound. Great Britain pound. Is that what that is?
Yes.
GBP. Great Britain pound, I believe. And that sounds like a lot. So way to go. When you're 15, that's a lot of money. Way to go. Lady V, mine was about that too. The cost? Holy moly. Jazzy Wazzy, oh, nice. And then Jazzy, yes, my family was very poor, so I got a job and saved up to get my doggy. Jazzy, not that you have to tell me, but do you happen to know what that means in American dollars? That sounds like a very expensive dog, and you're 15. What a phenomenal, golly, hats off. How do you do that? That's so cool.
Here's 22 now. She did this 7 years ago. That's a lot of money to save up, though.
But yeah,
they're worth every penny.
Are they? Are they super sweet?
Oh, yeah.
And there's Lady V's one. Thank you, Lady V. And that's Valera's one. Thank you. And Jazz, wait, sorry, I didn't know what was going on. That's right, Jazzy. When you sent your one, it was too late, but that's okay. And Muffy, I'm sure I don't know if by now you know what I meant, but Muffy, but it was one of my neurotic tests. That's right. You're probably cooking, talking to your boyfriend, Jack N. I think it's N for Nancy, right? Jack N.
Yes.
So Jazzy Wazzy, a 1. Dang it. That's all right, Kate. Jazzy, thank you for trying to catch up. Was that weird for y'all to be involved with my neuroses? So,
no.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
No.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I'll try to be easier on myself. Muffy, Jack's panicking. That's right. What was the test? Okay, so I see a couple comments from you, Muffy. And I'm sorry, Jazzy Wazzy, what was the test? So anyway, I'll try to explain it quickly, which I'm not good at doing anything quickly. But Muffy seems to be a little out of the loop, and Jazzy and Muffy and Jack. And Jack's panicking, so I don't want him to panic. And Jazzy. So anyway, I asked my viewers to do a favor for me. I wanted to test the delay in my stream. I'm streaming to 6 streams. Each one of them says it could delay up to 10 seconds. So that means it could be up to 60 seconds. So I'm like, OMG, I have to test what it really is. So I asked everyone to pre-type a comment, but don't hit enter. You pre-type a comment. I would prefer you just put 1. I hate typing. You all may not like typing either. So you just put you don't have to do it now. I'm just explaining it. So you put in a 1 or whatever. You can type whatever you want. Pre-type it so you're not typing anymore. And then I would count. And again, thanks for indulging my, but anyway, so I would go 3, 2, 1, go. And you would hit enter immediately. And then that would be the test of the delay. So that's what it was. I had 2 people test. I'm sure there will be another day that I test. Jazzy, what was the test? Okay, I hope that makes sense now. Jazzy, all right. I thought you were experimenting on us. Just for delay. I wanted to be able to tell you all what the delay is. So I needed information from you all. Muffy, poor Jack. Yeah, I don't want him to be, what you say, freaking out? I forget the word. But yeah, what was the word? I don't want to misquote it. Panicking. Yeah, I do not want Jack to be panicking. Please, Jack, I'm sorry to panic you. Valera, could depend on where your chatters are located. Yes, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of criterion and stuff, but I was, once I'm established, I probably shouldn't do this, but if I ever have 500 people on the stream, I'll probably, and so, yeah, it probably would be from 5 seconds to 2 minutes. You'll probably get a range. So Jazzy, Great Britain pounds. Thanks. I can't believe I got the P. I wasn't sure about the P. Well, when I was 15, I really wanted a friend, so it meant a lot to me getting a dog. Jazzy, I think that's incredible. When I was 15, boy, I didn't know what I was doing. That's a lot of money. $1,506.62 is the equivalent to pounds of, golly, you are a rock star.
Oh, what
So
kind did you say it was?
Yes, she did say. I'm going to try to stream up, but she'll
Was
probably
it the
type it
pit?
in.
Mm.
And the other was a dog called Miko. Yeah, I'm not sure if you did say what kind of dog it is. Anyway, I can't find it. So, Jazzy, we'll give you a couple seconds to let us know what kind of doggy that is. That's so cool. And you said you wanted a friend, but I bet the doggy liked you as a friend too. So that's cool. So, I think my dog is a papillon. That's
Oh,
the
those are
that's
pretty
the
cute.
French pronunciation of that, but I don't know the English pronunciation.
No,
Is it
that's how you say it. Yeah,
papillon?
yeah, they're called
Butterfly.
butterflies because their ears, the hair on their ears, kind of resemble a butterfly when they're holding their ears up because there's so much hair that kind of goes out to the side like a butterfly's wing.
Oh, that's so cute. Is that true, Jazzy? I love that. That's so sweet. My dog is a papillon. I love that movie. Did y'all love that movie? But Jazzy Wazzy. Yeah, me and my doggy are very close. Oh, golly. Yeah, that's how you say it. Papillon. Papillon. Okay, I'll stop saying it. So, Jazzy, yep, it's true. What did I just say? What's true?
About the ears and it be called the papillon.
Oh, cool, Jazzy. That is so cool. That's and now, Lady V, have you seen a papillon or owned one, or how do you know?
I've owned one, and when I was younger, we used to show dogs.
Oh, like the kennel TV
Yeah,
shows?
yeah,
No way.
and cats. Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
it was fun.
So you probably see, 200 breeds of dogs, right?
Oh, Joe, this is a long conversation. My younger life is, yeah, I have. We used to raise dogs, and I'll just leave it at dogs for now.
Okay, yeah,
And
that's
so
fine.
I have had one, and they are beautiful babies. I do like them. Some people
Oh.
confuse them with the King Charles Cavalier black and white, though.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, and I love dogs. My first dog was a mutt. She was mostly a Welsh Corgi, but a mutt, and I had them, I didn't start as the owner. My sister did, but she was very responsible. But we had them, for 15 years. I was going to college. And my dad and my brother had to wait until I left to college to put the dog down that really needed to be put down. I mean, I'm like,
It's
boy,
hard.
I'm 17 and I'm not 12. I'm 17. And they're like, I don't think Joe's going to be able to handle it, which I wouldn't
No,
have.
that
So
never gets easier.
I'm glad they did that. But can you believe that? Going off to college, waiting for me to do that. Jazzy, a lot of smiles. And so, Valerie, that's nicer than German for butterfly. I don't know German. I know French, and I know. Oh, that's not a what's it called? It's not a Latino. Anyway, I don't know German because I think there's Latino ones. I'm saying that wrong. Y'all know what I mean. Spanish and French and all that is one kind of thing. Italian and German is a different thing. So I'll butcher it. Sorry, Valerie. Schmetterling. That's a butterfly, huh? Yeah, that doesn't roll off the tongue as papillon. And that's the type of dog. I don't know if Jazzy, you want to tell us the name? Don't divulge. It's open internet, but papillon is the type of dog. So it's always good to have names too, if you want to divulge. Jazzy Wazzy, yes, I got my papillon when he was 7 weeks old. That is so perfect. Valerie says I said it perfectly. Schmetterling, and you have to accentuate, right? The H, the Schmetterling, I think. So thank you. Okay. And then Jazzy Wazzy, his name is Miko. You said that above. I'm sorry, I forgot. Yes, you mentioned that. So thanks. So, okay. I'm just realizing it's 3:00. Usually my cat comes up. I mean, I'm sorry, not 3:00. It's 5:23 Eastern Standard Time, but it's 3:03 on the timer. And my cat usually comes to see me and says, "Hey, dude, you got to feed me." And I usually need to feed myself and stuff. So I think I might wind down here. And I don't want to burn Lady V out because 3 hours is a long time. But so yeah, I think I'll start a goodbye on Twitter and Meerkat and Periscope and all those things. I do a 45-minute goodbye. So this is not an immediate goodbye. I think it will be about 3 to 5 minutes, maybe. I'm just guessing. It could also be 12 minutes, but
Well, Joe, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and wish everybody Merry Christmas. And I am pretty tired.
And thank you so much. That was the beginning of my goodbye to thank you. I really appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you, Joe.
It helps with my energy. It helps with my focus. It helps with my so much things. So thank you.
I'm glad. I'll see
Cool.
you next time. Bye, guys. Love to all.
See y'all. So yeah, I will do somewhat of a goodbye and then I'll go through comments and then, hopefully not repeat the goodbye and then stop the broadcast, but the comments will stay open because I have to check out the 6 streams. So I have to click on those streams and get a lot of information off of them. So anyway, my goodbye is essentially my hellos, basically in reverse order. But as y'all probably know, I'm Joe Hart. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I don't usually talk about them, but usually through the stream. I don't try to hide those things, but I don't think it applies. Now, in crime sleuthing, I'm finding out, or I knew all along, that OCD is a phenomenal, I call them quirks and idiosyncrasies. I call my disabilities quirks and idiosyncrasies. That's interchangeable for me. But OCD is fantastic for crime sleuthing. I'm methodical, I'm meticulous, I can drill down. That's enough of that. Thoughts and prayers for the victims, the families, the loved ones. Sorry, I need a script because I'll forget things. But, the loved ones, the friends, the students, the school, University of Idaho, the community and city, Moscow, Idaho, the county, Latah County, the state, Idaho, and all the law enforcement. I know I have ragged about them for a while, and I will continue to rag less about them. I'm trying to embrace them as being an important, we're all in the same team. So I'm trying to avoid it. I'll still do it because I'm passionate about a couple of the things they did. Now, the past, we can't change the past. So I don't want to, we can't change the past. So whatever they did, we can't change it. We're in the situation now. So that's probably how I'm going to move on. So all the law enforcement, Moscow Police Department, the FBI that is based out of Salt Lake City and also West Virginia and the rest of the country. But it's mostly Salt Lake City. They cover Idaho and Idaho State Police. Also, this is I think it's my 10th stream. I haven't changed that. So I think it's I'm sorry. I think it's my 12th, but this says 11th. But 11th or 12th stream, 6 destinations, profiles. I like to acknowledge everybody. I do it a lot more often, but this time I didn't. But anyway, I want to say hello and goodbye and thank you to the 6 profiles. So hello and goodbye, Facebook profile. I appreciate it. Hello and goodbye, Facebook page. I love you being here. Hello and goodbye, LinkedIn profile. I appreciate it. Hello and goodbye to YouTube. That's the Slow and Steady Foundation. And hello and goodbye to Twitch. I had an account, but I've never streamed until StreamYard. And Twitter. I know I probably spent a little too much time focusing on Twitter, but they are currently my largest. They're my largest audience currently. It's fragmented. There's motorsports and there's invisible disabilities and there's politics and it's fragmented all the part. But I have quite a few people. So even though that says 6 there's probably 200 people watching with that 6. So it's 200 plus 6. That's who's watching it. I don't know. That's a generality, but over the stream, it's usually about 2,500 people or something like that. So anyway, I'm sorry, but that's what I do. So Thank you to the mods. You are rock stars. Muffy, thank your boyfriend for me. Thank you, Lady V. I have multiple Dave. I have tons of Mo. Oh, golly, Mo. There's tons of mods. So I appreciate that. I want to thank the live viewers and the comments. I love comments so much, so much. I hope I never, anyway, I read a comment and then I impulsively act. Or react or respond. So I hope I didn't offend people. And they're like, oh, wait, that's not what I meant. But I don't mean to do that. It's just, anyway, I don't mean to do that. Thank you, mods. And so anyway, I'm going to go through comments. We're down to 6 from 8 and 9, but I'm going to just go through them. Yeah, you have to say it like you're angry. Oh, Schmersh. Thank you for the coaching. Now I might forget if you're in the stream 2 days from now. I'll be like, wait a minute, how do you say it like you're angry? Not that you love the puppy, like you wouldn't be schmooshing and going, oh, my little Schmetterling. Yeah, you're probably right. And I kind of forget the word because I'm not staring at it. Muffy, I have to run, guys. Jack, I'm sorry I probably missed you. Thanks, Buffy. Merry Christmas to everybody. So Muffy says, I have to run, guys. Jack and I adopted a family for Christmas, and we were bringing them a Christmas tree and Christmas gifts, groceries. Muffy, you are a superstar. Is that what you're cooking? You're cooking their meal? That's amazing. I mean, I don't know. You didn't say that, but that's such good. Oh, I wish I was as nice as some people. So anyway, yeah, Muffy, Dragon Slayer, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you. Steffi B, thank you so much for being here. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. Thank you. Muffy, love you, Lady V. Jazzy, okay, Merry Christmas. And Steph B, Lady V, I hope you wake up tomorrow feeling better. Yeah, I hope she does too. I think she's just beginning to get sick, so it might be a couple more days. But I hope not, Lady V. I hope you do very well. Jazzy, see you, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed Christmas. Muffy, feel better, Lady V. And Muffy, I don't know if I still have met yet to miss you, but thank you for everything, being a blue wrench and all that stuff. And thank Jack N. That's pretty phenomenal. I don't remember names unless I'm staring at him, and I'm not staring at his name. So tell him thank you, and I'm glad. Hope he's not whatever that word was that he said that he was freaking out. It's not freaking out. That's not what he said. So, Lady, that is so sweet, Muffy. And Muffy, Lady V, I so much adore you. Muffy, you are so nice. Jody, bye all. I have a friend visit. Been listening. Cool. Thank you, Jody. Say hi to Australia for me. Someday I'd like to get there. I'm on a limited budget, but I hope to, especially for motorsports. I'd love to get there. Muffy, Lady V, we wanted to do something, so we thought this was pretty perfect. They have 2 kids, and they're from the Congo. Oh, golly, Muffy, you're so nice. That's 4 minutes ago, so I don't know if I've missed you. Lady V, thank you. You all have a blessed Christmas. Love to you all. Thank you, Lady V. I'm going to get to the comments and stop. Jody, Merry Christmas all. Stay safe. And Muffy, Lady V, get some rest. And Lady V, wow, that is so cool. I adore you too, Muffy. I'll try. I mean, yeah, that's woo. The heart that people have to give and give and give. That's so nice, Muffy. Lady V, red hearts. Muffy, thank you, Joe. Great live. Thank you. Tell your boyfriend, thank him for giving gifts and watching and thought I was amazing or whatever you said. So thank you so much, Lady V. You were great. I had a fantastic time. Thank you, Joe. Thanks, Lady V. Yeah, I had an off stream, but yeah, generally I do pretty well. So thanks. My energy was different with you having here. I'm not sure that was necessarily seen, but I think I'm pretty transparent. So I think it was. So Valerie Brielle, I'll see you later. And Lady V says, please hit that like button. So that's currently the last comment. I'll probably talk at least for 60 seconds in case you're sending one last comment. But I'm going to end I hit end broadcast twice, and the comments can still keep going. So feel free to send comments and stuff. So anyway, that's it. I'm glad I did a stream today. I was not feeling it. I needed some self-encouragement, and then it was nice to hear that I was going to have some help. So again, Lady V, thank you. And I just hope everybody has a good day. Christmas, and I'm I know not everybody's Christian and not everybody celebrates Christmas. So I want to talk about all the holidays, but I don't Kwanzaa and, Happy Hanukkah. And, I don't know all the details of all of them, but, for me, Christmas is basically just another day for me for various reasons. My daughter's grown and my ex-wife remarried and, whatever. It's just, so I don't know what I'm going to be streaming. I might do the 24th. I might do the 25th. I might do the 26th, or I might not. So my ex might invite me to her house. She invited me to her house for Thanksgiving without our daughter there. So that was so nice of her. And she might do something similar, but my daughter will be there. So it might be even a better reason to have me there. So anyway, I'm just letting you know I might stream any day. So Lady V, 2 hearts. Are those broken hearts? Anyway, you don't have to tell me. I don't think they're broken hearts. I think they're good hearts. I mean, all hearts are good. See how it's just diarrhea of the mouth? So, okay. Thank you very much. It's just me and my hubby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me. So that's sweet. That's good. I think it's okay to have intimate. Yeah. Have a good one no matter what you do, Lady V. So I'm going to end. I'm going to hit the end broadcast twice. I'll probably tell you when I'm hitting it. And then I'm going to hang out for a while with the comments going, but it's because I have to hit the 6 profiles. So, okay, that's enough. We're at 3:14:54. So I'm going to hit end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. Now I have to hit it again. There's 2 buttons. So end broadcast in 3, 2, 1.